Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Karsh the Goblin. This is GoblinCaveTV, and we are finally here with our City of Mist starter set. We have the amazing audio from City of Mist themselves. We're not using Silenscape today. This is the soundtrack from City of Mist. I'm actually loving it. I've been chilling to it while prepping up and while learning the system, and I just really love the sound. It just sets the mood really well. Still love Silenscape, but this is specifically made for this game. So we are today with our starter set. We backed the Kickstarter early last year through things and stuff. We're still waiting on the physical products, but they should be arriving actually next week. So I'm really excited. Pretty much ordered the back catalogue when they did the Kickstarter of this because I missed the initial Kickstarter of City Mist. So I'm super excited. I'm even wearing my City of Mist t-shirt today. So... and our MC, I only just figured that out. Oh yeah. So you can help out the channel by donating. When you donate to the channel, do a hashtag of who the player or character wants to get your rewards, because that person will get a +1 to a dice. They can go maximum up to +4. We can only spend one at a time, and once they're spent, they are burnt. So if we get to 4, we spend 1, goes to 3, then to 4. We don't want to blow them all at once. We don't want to stack like a +4 and everything. There should be times where like a +1 in this system is a massive thing. So we don't want to be stacking them too high. But it's only costs you $1 and it helps out the channel. And if you want to just blow lots of money and help us out, I don't mind that at all. I really don't, because it helps out the channel. And we get to put in shows like this for you. I just also want to do a shout out. The overlay, while I did make the overlay myself, the artwork, this artwork behind this amazing artwork, is from City of Mist. It's from Son of Oak Studios. Copyright to them. That's the website up there of cityofmist.co. So just wanted to point that out. Yeah, that's theirs. Just want to make that clear. So let's go in and let's meet our cast members. We have a new cast today, so let's go to that. There we go. Hello, everybody. You're on mute.
Hello. What's up?
Hello. Hi, guys.
Great shirt, by the way, too. It's amazing.
I can't believe you didn't notice. And I actually wore the wrong one this morning. I was like, oh, wrong one. No, I've got to change.
And the overlay looks terrific. Holy cow.
Made 4 months ago when we started doing this show.
I know. This is so exciting. And your background and the intro screen looked really good, too. So nice job.
So we've got a few sneak peeks in the overlay as well. But the numbers next to us on all our frames down here is the number of how many of those bonuses we have. And so if you donate, that adds up and goes to a maximum only of 4, because again, +1, even a +1 in this system is a big thing.
Oh, but it looks like a gifted sub gets a +2, huh? Nice.
I wasn't going to mention that because I'm not the MC and I didn't want to.
That's fine. Hey, I'd like to reward gifted subs as much as anybody else.
Yeah. So, shall we do our quick introductions? I think we'll start with Chibi in combat because, like, you've been around for the longest. I know, yes, combat. You've been for one show. That's around for longer than our other 2 new guests.
Well, okay then.
We'll start with Chibi.
What are you saying about my show age?
Just that you've been around since last year, that's all. We love you.
Alrighty. So hi guys, I'm Chibi. I am going to be playing Talalop, who's going to be a really charismatic guy. So pleasure to meet you all. And to show you about the whole subscription thing and how it works, I can click this button and hopefully it's going to send it through. I don't know. It was saying I've done my 4-month sub. Did it click?
There's a delay.
Oh, boo. I should have clicked it earlier.
Yeah, there's usually quite a significant delay, but thank you in advance.
I'm playing a charismatic guy who's been on the streets a while, and these new powers are coursing through me, and I'm going to see what they lead to.
Okay.
Nice.
Combat space?
I will be playing Detective Enkidu, the hard-nosed detective trying to figure out what is going on with these abilities and these powers and these things that she can see that her fellow detectives and police cannot. So I will be playing Detective Enkidu.
Okay, I'll do myself. I'm on Scout. I'm playing Job. I'm not out for revenge. I'm out for justice. I've been wronged, and apparently, well,
You don't want to be righted.
yeah. Apparently, both God and the devil don't want me, so I'm just here trying to get out for justice. Mystic?
Yes. Hello. My name is Michael, or Mystic Mike. I'll be Sunstrider in the chat, and I'm playing Baku, a martial arts instructor who has found himself to have some rather insomnia-like tendencies of late, and is trying to see about getting a side job to support his struggling business. A side job that is, of course, all above the books.
Of course. All about books. Blue?
I'm Blue. I will be playing Lily Chow, who is run away from her parents who are into some shady business. So I'm very happy to be here.
And Polly, our MC.
Hey everybody, it's me. I'm Polly. I'm the MC of this game. Holy cow, this is exciting for me because I'm going back to my roots with this. My first role-playing experience was Apocalypse World, and then I played a bunch of Dungeon World, and then I got into it. So then I sort of did other systems. You'll see me on this channel also playing Pathfinder 2 on every Monday. GoblinCaveTV, but today we're gonna play City of Mist, which is it's a really great. It's not a pure powered by the apocalypse system. It has its own tweaks on it, but it's really great. I think we're gonna like it.
Awesome. So would you like to start us off and
I would.
do the
Let's
narration?
begin. Welcome to City of Mist, everyone. This is the City of Mist, the City of Legends made flesh. In this corrupt and haunted metropolis, anyone can become a living gateway to an ancient myth or legend. In the shadows of shiny skyscrapers and derelict residential blocks, ordinary folk wield supernatural powers bestowed by the stories that live inside them. But those same stories threaten to tear their lives apart. The mist is it's a mystical veil known only to a select few. It prevents unwitting city residents from ever acknowledging the miracles they witness daily, miracles likely produced by all of you. It hides the legendary and distorts it, making it look plain and mundane. And so, distracted by their everyday hopes and fears, the people on the streets remain oblivious to the clash of mythical forces that drive and control the life in the city. You too were an ordinary person, each one of you, until the seed of the legendary awoke within you. Now you're a rift between the worlds, seeking answers to questions about your powers, but the truth always seems to elude you. Awakened or not, you still want what every human being wants: love, money, power, peace of mind. Together with your ragtag crew of gifted individuals, you work to reveal these powers operating in the dark, smoky alleys of the city. Just as those very powers seek you out for what you are, you will hit the streets in search of the strange cases, loose ends, and unsolved mysteries that will lead you to the truth, inevitably clashing with other legends, perhaps in mortal form, the modern day incarnations of stories from beyond the mist. Be warned, the truth is as dangerous as the forces that hide it. Only when you find yourself sacrificing that which is dearest to you will you truly learn the answer to the ultimate question: who am I? But will it be worth it? The camera will now fade out and reopen into a city. It's dark, it's rainy, it's another overcast, somber afternoon in the city. Traffic is nervously crawling through the rain at rush hour. Angry drivers honking at the lights while thunder roils overhead. Somewhere in a residential neighborhood, the camera zooms in on a shabby apartment building, moving up creaky stairs and down a corridor, ending in a milky glass door. The glass is inscribed with a pyramid and an eye. Above the label, All-Seeing Eye Investigations. This is your office, a cramped, dilapidated space that doubles as a bedroom when one of you needs a place to crash. The tiny kitchen is dirty. The floor shudders when the subway passes by on the nearby rail. And at night, the room is colored red by the crackling neon signs on the side of the building. The office is where you hold your meetings with your barely existent clientele and where you keep most of your stuff. But while you'd like to call it charming, in truth, you can only call it cheap. Since you've met, you've been searching for answers. Answers to your own personal questions as well as the grand mystery. What the hell is going on in this city? You know there are others like you out there, people with legendary powers, and you know some of them are up to no good. You also know there's something covering up their tracks to make people forget. This is why you started this crew, to reach out to those few who have witnessed these strange incidents, investigate them, and search for the truth. As we begin, I would like each of you to describe what your character has been doing throughout this day. It's an ordinary day. So tell us what you have done and what brings you finally to the office this afternoon. We'll start with Baku.
Baku has been sort of, between looking out the windows, just kind of admiring the rain for its melancholy atmosphere. He's been sort of cleaning up around the office, washing like spare dishes and stuff that people have left in the sink, sort of like being quiet, but like also just trying to pitch in and help out where and when he can. But he's always just like a little bit, like he's almost kind of like drifting off. He's like absent-minded and like takes him a second to like register things.
Excellent. And you were just describing how you are already in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Looking out the dirt, the dust covered windows. Mm-hmm. Okay, and how about Laylock?
So Laylock was actually spending the earlier afternoon going to visit good old pal Jimmy. His daughter's birthday just passed. So, he'd gone in, got her a little pink teddy bear as a kind of, pick me up. They've been on rough times of late. And Laylock just likes to make sure that he can do a little bit he can to bring a smile to someone's face, especially on such a dreary day. And, he'll just kind of walk the streets, nod into acquaintances that he knows. He knows a lot of people in this area. It's his... You wouldn't really say it's his turf, but he knows people and they know him, and he always makes sure he's got a smile and a wink for them as he walks on past towards the office.
Excellent, thank you. How about our resident police officer, Detective Enkidu?
Well, I suppose I'd be coming back from a hard day on the beat. Work is, well, it is what it is. I'm a police officer, having to deal with the mundane crap of normal people getting into it, and then I have to come to this place and figure out what's going on with the rest of the world that people can't see. So I suppose what brings me here is, well, there's still justice to be had. There's still people breaking the law. It's still my duty, and if no one else is going to do it, I'm here.
Excellent. Job.
Spent the day tending to my flock as a priest in the community. So I just getting my... There we go. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. I love it.
Not really going. A little bit of a prop.
Yeah.
I couldn't find my fake mustache, otherwise I would have worn one.
just need to grow.
That would have been
That's
great.
all it is. So just spending my time tending to the clock, So I turn it into my flock in the community and teaching the local basketball team. I'm not good, but they need all the help they get. And then when I can, between all that, well, going through the mafia contacts and seeing what jobs are on offer and what's going on there.
Okay. And then you ended up at the office expecting to meet the rest of your crew at some point.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
Excellent. But you still make time to solve the mysteries of the city. All right, Lily Chow.
Lily is on the run from her parents, as I said, and they're very successful. They have a lot of influence and resources. So when she doesn't have to go out, she's staying in at the office where she's taken refuge. And right now, she's sort of hanging out with her newfound brother, Iron Hans, magical iron giant being. And right now, he's sort of just adapting to his new big brother role and entertaining her. He's making tiny little magical objects for her. So right now, he puts his hand out with a coin and she flips it, and when it lands on heads, a little burst of confetti pops out, and when it lands on tails, a little white puff of smoke comes out of it. And yeah, that's what they're up to.
Excellent. So you're all in the office talking about your recent cases, or perhaps lack of cases in the pipeline, perhaps money problems. And suddenly the doorbell buzzes with two short, abrupt rings. You look out the milky glass door, but no silhouette is behind it. What do you do?
Lily's going to take cover so that in case it's someone who knows her parents, they don't recognize her.
I also switched the map. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to point out that I put the map up that will kind of illustrate what your office looks like. It's not, I caution you, it is not a battle map. It's there to the theater of the mind. Sorry.
Tallulah would just go straight for the door to answer it, really. Unless anyone's planning to stop him. Can I also, say that on my way into the office, if I know the type of, how our good old detective tends to be a bit rough around the edges after coming in off the beat, could I have picked up a pack of donuts?
Yes. Yeah, you brought the donuts and they are there.
There are donuts there on the counter, and he'll just kind of point them out as he's on the way to the door going, I know it's cliche, but hey, I hope it puts a smile on your face. And then he's going to open the door.
Okay, and I'm sure that there are smiles on your team members' faces, but you do look out the door and you see the paper slowly floating down to the door step, down to the floor.
Is it anyone religious? Tell them we've got one already.
No, it appears we have a love letter. Perhaps to me, and he'll pick it up and take a read.
All right.
Does it smell?
Coffee.
Do you smell it? It doesn't smell like anything so far as you can tell, but you do open the paper. It looks like it's hastily folded together, but you read cut out letters that are arranged to form this message. Please help us. We are in danger. Sharks in Miller Square. And then there's a cutout picture of a shark that's glued under the lettering. You know Miller Square. Miller Square is your home. It's the neighborhood where you live, and it's where you're right now. Consequently, you know that Miller Square is completely landlocked.
Someone has an interesting idea of scrapbooking, and he'll kind of bring the letter in and show it to everyone else.
Haven't heard of any LSD on the streets, so maybe it's supernatural, not drug related.
Sharks, really?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is people who lend money, is
Loan sharks.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
I know a few of them.
They
I
did
didn't think
attach a
that one.
picture of a shark, did they not? Like a literal animal shark?
Yes. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a picture
I'm
attached
just
below
saying,
it.
I'm calling it supernatural land sharks, and I don't like this.
Yeah.
Could be the
So,
mafia. You never know.
Or even better, mafia land sharks. Great combo.
Lily,
Loan sharks.
as you look at the note, you kind of look at it and you're thinking, well, is this land sharks or what? There's something about the lettering and the way it's arranged and the sort of cartoonish looking shark figure that makes you think this was put together by a child.
I'm gonna go to the window and kind of take a look out at the street. See if is there anything, I don't know, out of the ordinary at the window?
CC street
Is
sharks.
there anyone out there?
Is there a street shark just at the window? Go,
They
oh my
fight.
gosh.
They bite. Street sharks.
So you squint to try to look through the dirty, dusty window. You kind of brush it off. You look, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. You see people walking, along the street that you always have. You don't see anybody running from the building or anything. You do know, as a detective, that you're in precinct 23. That's your base of operations, and you know that Miller Square is a crime-ridden neighborhood. It wouldn't surprise you to know that there's a criminal element that, but you don't know what they mean by sharks, if anything.
Okay. Well.
Oh, it's a case. I don't know how we're going to get paid, but it's a case.
Do we, out of character, do we normally get prank messages or anything like that because we're dodgy as, or?
This is unusual. You're somewhat surprised that because you try to maintain a low profile, you're looking for other rifts in the city like you that are causing trouble. And in the midst of doing that, you're trying to learn more and more about your own powers. You're all very, you imagine having this thing inside you awaken. Your goal is to maintain your life as much as you feel is necessary, but you also, your night job is to figure out what is going on in the city and what's going on with you. But you don't think that there are that many people that can see beyond the mist that covers up the legendary creatures like yourselves, or
In
like
this
those
case,
that live
it
with
might be
you.
a child.
Well,
You do get the feeling.
Oh well.
regardless, this is my neighborhood, and if there's something here, it's best to scare it off at the very least.
Oh, let's make sure that the children are going to be okay. Let's get that up and running, shall we? Shall we head to the square, or shall we just lounge about here all night and drink?
I want to go to the square. Lily is always on the lookout for other kids who are in trouble, so.
Okay.
Check.
Go ahead.
Baku is going to sort of nod a little dreamily, and he's gonna sort of look away from the window finally, and might be a good idea to, on our way there, just check in with some of the kids, with your church and the kids I teach at my dojo. One of the students I have, a senior student, is taking over teaching for today's lessons, but if it's on the way, they might know something, so it might be good to check there.
The church is pretty much closed for the night. That's why I'm here. If the church wasn't closed, then I couldn't be.
Oh right,
be
yeah,
here.
yeah. I couldn't tell it was time. Storm.
Yeah.
That's it's cloudy.
Besides, might be a good idea to stretch your legs there, Lily and Baku. You guys have been cooped up in here for far too long.
Let's go for a wander.
Fair point.
Yeah.
All right.
As we're heading out, Tlaylock will kind of just jokingly kind of pull a hood over Lily's head because he knows that she's trying to keep undercover and stuff, so he'll just kind of do it as a little thing on the way out.
She says
Okay.
thanks.
You all know Miller Square fairly well, so you've been here plenty of times. It's actually still early in the afternoon when you arrive, but if church is closed, church is closed.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was.
It's
Yeah.
You would know. You would know. One of the things that is sort of endemic to this system is that you kind of create the story as well. So church is closed. The rain falls slowly on Miller Square. Clogged gutters spilling noisily into tight alleys. Countless puddles cover the broken pavement, forcing you to be mindful of your steps. This rundown working class neighborhood is a jigsaw puzzle of tenements and townhouses divided into apartments. At the intersection of its two main streets, there lies an eponymous square, drab and lackluster, surrounded by a handful of stores. And you can see on your map, I hope, so I switched the map to the square. So take a look at it. You can see, the businesses that are there. And hopefully cars you can switch it to.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. The first thing you catch your eye, and we'll go through this together, is you have the convenience store, the one-stop shop, which seems to be closed off by police tape. And the first thing you notice, by the way, is before you even look at the individual businesses, Miller Square seems much quieter to you than it usually is. But you do notice that the one-stop shop is covered. It has police tape across it, which seems to be it's closed up by police tape, a recent crime scene. And then nearby, the only places that show signs of life are the Laser Hot Pizza place. You know that well. You've eaten the pizza there before. Century Laundromat and Miller Square Liquor Store. Two more businesses you also see on the map: Los Ramos, a florist shop, and Sandra's hair salon are closed, although it does seem a bit early for either one of those two businesses to be closed.
Lily nudges the detective and is like, "Hey, what's the deal with that?"
What is the deal with that?
Enkidu does not know. You haven't been to the office. It's not the smallest department, so you don't always know what's going on. So this is one of the cases where you just don't know. You're out of the loop for whatever reason.
What was your job to know? God.
You're absolutely right, but I mean, I can't be everywhere at once. Must be assigned to somebody else.
And when you're moonlighting, you can't always know what's going on at the office.
Right. Are there any telltale signs of what may have happened to get this place taped up?
There does appear to be some activity inside the one-stop shop, but otherwise you don't know what happened. Yes.
The Lalok would like to, because the hot pizza place is open, he's gonna wander on over, because it seems that they have windows facing the one-stop shop.
Yes.
And he's gonna walk in, and he totes knows the owner, Miller Square, come on, everyone goes to Laser Hot Pizza, it's fantastic. And he's gonna be like, "Hey, Tony, my man, how are you this evening?"
I like it. So as you're walking into a Laser Hot Pizza, or you just kind of walking in front of it? Okay. So as you walk into the Laser Hot Pizza, you notice out of the corner of your eye, and the rest of you kind of see this too, is a uniformed officer comes out of the one-stop shop and stands on the corner, kind of looks at the group.
What? I'm gonna flash my badge real quick. What happened here?
Detective. It's an active crime scene. Are you on this case?
This is my neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Well, we just shipped a stiff out of here. Suicide, I guess. We're just wrapping it up and we'll be out of here. We've got other things. We got a bunch of calls to get to, but we had to process this crime scene, detective.
Anything out of the ordinary? You said it was pretty.
Life sucks. That's pretty ordinary. This guy had enough, I guess.
All right. Well, is there anything funny about this uniformed officer? Or is he just a beat cop?
Everything that you know says that he's just a uniform,
Gotcha.
just a beat cop, just out there because he wandered out.
Okay.
All right. So let's cut to the laser hot
Hey.
pizza, please.
Thank you, Eurocroc, for the donation. Chibi, you have a +1. You can spend at any time. And the +1 is a big thing.
Yeah, that's a nice bonus in this game. All right, so we're gonna cut to the laser hot pizza, the only hopping place in the neighborhood. Slaylock has wandered into. It constantly attracts many of the locals with steaming scents of mozzarella and fresh tomato sauce. Running around from kitchen to counter and back is a young curly-haired man in a bright red apron, and a young kid in a similar apron is proudly operating the register and shouting orders over the speaker. It's kind of active. There's a little line. You come in talking your talk, and the person behind the counter kind of looks, nods at you, recognizes you actually, and then goes back to tending to the customers.
And Playlock, being the kind of guy that he is, he's going to say, "Oh, right, busy place." He's going to politely stand in line, and then he's going to strike up a conversation with the people nearby. And he's like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Bit damp out there, ain't it? The weather is just typical for this sort of place. Anyway, crazy stuff happening across the way. Hey, you know what's happening over there? I just walked in and be like, whoa, police tape, what?"
Okay, all right. So you're gonna ask a random person a question which you're hoping to get information from. The person I'm gonna say is just a ordinary looking fellow dressed in a blue jacket. Looks a little bit, you don't know this person, looks a little bit annoyed by the question, but is willing to be engaged by you. So what you're gonna do now is we're gonna make our first move of the game.
Yes.
You are actually going to investigate.
Okay.
So you're going to roll investigate, and of course you can try to see if you have any applicable power tags to help boost your success possibility. And you can also use the +1 from Neurocroc, right?
I could,
If you want to use it
potentially.
now.
If you want to use it
I
now.
might be using that just a little bit later, so I'm going to hold on to that one.
Mhm.
There's a power tag that says "good deep down inside," and it's to do with this personality of being sweet talker, good at smiling and whatnot. Would that be applicable in a term of he's just trying to come across as an honest guy who's a bit curious and just wants to have a nice conversation,
He's good deep down. You have anything else? I don't know if I like that one. It's early in the game,
That's
so
fair.
I'll probably give it to you. but
that's probably me pushing it. But aside from
Yeah.
that, no, I think otherwise I can save some of my other power tags for later.
Well, okay. Now you can reuse power tags. So pick all the ones that you think are applicable, and we'll go through them in fact, let's pull up your character sheet and maybe have a look.
I feel like the most applicable one for this situation would be the good deep down inside. He doesn't have any ulterior motives against this guy, and Tlaloc is the kind of person who just wants to hey, you look like you've had a rough day. You want to talk about it a bit? Did you happen to see I know people tend to gossip a bit. You got anything to share? You share it. If you want to talk about something else, that's totally cool with me.
Perfect. So we'll use that power tag and roll +1 then. So your power is
I don't like the red books around it.
Okay, so you succeeded. You did a mild success. And it's a good thing you got that +1, otherwise you would have failed. So as it shows you right there, you can spend clues 1 to 1. You get 1 clue, so you can ask a question, and I assume it's going to be what happened next door, right? So the person says to you, I assume, right? You can tell me you want a different type of question, but then you have to role play it before I answer.
No, he's like, he doesn't know that they've already talked to the cops or anything, so he's just looking at them and be like, hey, you know what happened over next door? Like, what's up with the police tape, yeah?
Okay. So because it is a mixed success and not a complete success, the person looks over and says, I don't know, clearly something terrible, right? I mean, the owner, the Sam Saddle, everybody knows him around here, such a great guy, but I don't know, apparently something bad happened to him. I don't know what.
Oh man, something happened to Sammy? No.
Yeah, I mean,
what
what?
worker?
Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. I mean, I don't know that. I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe he'll pull through, but
Thank you for the gift sub,
sub.
Neurocroc. Thank you so much. Always appreciated. That'll be
Thank you,
everyone getting
Neurocroc.
2 of the. We're maxing out at 4 for this game because they're very, very powerful. Everyone gets 2.
Okay, so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yep.
Let's cut back to outside the Laser Hot Pizza place, back on Miller Square. You notice that the officers are actually packing up and getting in their car and leaving.
I would like to. Oh man, I'm trying to think how to describe this because it's like a not subversion. It's, well, I guess it's a little bit subversion, a little bit divination. But just like see, it wouldn't be like predatory sense. This would be like more like kind of not sure how to describe it, but like I like the idea of like he's just kind of like unnoticed, like just by standing around, he's kind of like, people sort of like pass him by or like walk a little bit quicker when they pass by Baku. So like, the police sort of like leave something of importance behind. It's just like a little something that could give us a little clue.
Okay, so tell me exactly what you're doing.
I'd like to. I'm trying to think like this would be like more predatory senses or like sniff out. I'm sort of like trying to like get a sense of like like something at the crime scene that like like if they were like busy like taking pictures or something like and then like they were like filing this stuff away, like writing reports, papers, that kind of stuff, and then like something was just like sort of left behind on a table because it was in the pizzeria, right?
The cops just left the one-stop shop, the convenience store that's covered
Right,
in police tape.
Yeah. So, if like, being able to like slip in there just as they're leaving and just sort of like take a peek at something,
And while
like,
slipping in, I'll go and approach the police, just to speak to them, especially if anyone has like maybe a crucifix on a chain, or if I recognize any as as part of my congregation.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this is a good kind of a combination of actions you're trying to do. So while these two are trying to distract and get into the one-stop shop, what's Enkidu doing and what is Lily doing? Let's go ahead and start with Lily first.
Blue.
Lily has been she followed into the pizza shop actually, and she's
okay. I must have missed that.
At the back, like hooded with her head down, and she's like being jealous of Talek being able to talk to people out in the open and stuff, but she's listening to him about information he's getting. So
good, I like that. Okay, sorry, Enkidu.
Yes. So I was thinking that like this would be investigate, and like I like the idea that like Job, is it Job or Job?
Job.
Both? Yeah. So he sort of says like hey Job, B's got your back. I got your back. You back. Baku's got your back. You. Yes. Yeah. And he's just gonna sort of tap his nose and sort of like just kind of like hands in pockets of jacket, just kind of like head down and just like casually walk. and I'd like to invoke the be there for each other and meld into the dark to try and pull off either sneak around or investigate, whatever would be more relevant.
Right. Okay. So I wanted to give the spotlight to Enkidu for just a second before we get back to that.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah.
Detective Enkidu, what are you up to? Because I want to get a sense where everybody's at.
So, as I also want to get into this shop, to poke around, I'm just trying to be as, like, hurry along. All right, thank you so much. You guys have been great. Like, I'm talking to the cops, the beat cops that are there, and just kind of like, basically just kind of like, okay, good. Thanks so much. You know, well, I'll see you guys at the office. Da 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 da. You know, if you guys need anything, you know, just know that I'm in the neighborhood. I can, you know, swing by real quick and take care of something. Da 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 da. Thanks so much. Bye. Right.
And it sounds like I'm just going to spoil that.
All right. So
basically, just trying to hurry them along off the property.
Okay, so you're trying to hurry them along, and while in the meantime, Job is trying to distract them.
Outside, yes.
Outside.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Enkidu, are you inside the one-stop shop?
No,
if I can successfully.
I don't think you got
sorry.
in there.
Yeah, I would probably be outside.
Yeah.
With
okay.
Job.
Okay. Cool.
You know, just kind of helping Job do his thing, but also kind of like putting that pressure on there. Okay, it's time for you to go.
Got it. Okay. All right. And so are you both kind of on board with the plan of trying to be the distractors while was it Baku tries to get into the one-stop shop?
And the detective is trying to get them out of there. I'm just trying to distract them. So we've got two different plans going on at the same time.
All right. Well, let's see
I think that's.
This is why you play to find out in this game. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Let's just play it out.
Yeah. And so can I apply meld into shadow and
one second. I'm giving. So the way we resolve things in City of Mist is I pass the spotlight around, and I do it by the order of how I think the dice rolls need to be resolved. So what the other two are doing for you, Baku, is they're attempting to assist you. It might not work because they're sort of doing two different things. But I want to get them to essentially roll their assist first, and that would be the change the game move. So Job is attempting to distract the police officers that are out there so that Baku can get in the door. So it's going to be change the game.
Okay. Change the game.
So I'm going to use my congregation. I was specifically asking for maybe someone that's in my congregation, maybe someone with the obvious iconography.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Just trying to just get their attention, just get their ear and get their eyes away from the doors.
Okay. So that is a that's a mixed success, but in change the game, this just means you're going to get one juice, and that's fine because that's basically what you're going to get anyway. So you can create a story tag, burn a power tag or story tag, or give or reduce the status. So the reason why this is kind of an assist is that you're going to use your one power, your one juice, to create the distracted one status to the police. So they won't necessarily be able to see when Baku does the sneak around move. So they'll get a +1 when they roll. All right, and now, so the police that you're trying to distract have distracted one as a status. I'll just write that down. Okay, and Enkidu, what are you doing at the same time exactly? Well, I think you told us you're trying to hurry them along. So roll. Change the game as well with whatever power tags that you think are appropriate.
Okay, so as this is my neighborhood, I believe the Streets of Miller Square power tag and the You're in My Jurisdiction power tag from Precinct 23 card, as well as the police badge from Standard Issue Gear and police work from Hardboiled Detective, giving me a 5 power.
Yeah, that's like okay.
And
all right.
That's a combination.
Can you only use one?
No, you can stack them.
I mean, you can stack them, but that's just obscene number of power tags. But I'm not going to be too particular. If we all agree it feels like it fits, you might as well roll a +5, which is basically an auto success. Just to keep things moving along.
But it could be a plus. Could be a 10 plus.
I want to see the
Okay,
numbers.
so I'll take the be there for each other because I don't know that I don't.
That
think
one's
that,
perfect.
Would it? Okay.
Oh wait. Okay, hold on a second.
So
Let me just
that
make
would
sure.
give me a total of +5.
Okay, but one of those is a crew is a crew theme, right? To be there for each other.
Yes.
Okay, so you want to save those probably, not to stack your +4 to +5. It's not gonna be worth it. Those are the crew theme. It has crispy tags, so to speak, which means you can only use them once and then you can't use them anymore. They're not like your power tags. So I can understand, because the way they're set up in Roll20 is that it looks like it's yours, but it's not. It's the crew.
Okay.
So
So
you wanna
then,
save those ones.
all right. So then we're rolling with a +4. Great success.
All right. So, okay. So you succeeded, of course, and you succeeded with a power 4, which means you can do a bunch of stuff. You have juice equal to 4, so you can do the following. You can create a story tag. You can burn a power tag or reduce a status, give or reduce a status, just like Job could. But because you did a great success, you could also scale up the effect, which means you could speed all the other cops out of there. You can prolong the effects, make it ongoing, or hide the effect, or than any other improvement.
Can I only do it in one way? Do I have to apply the entirety of the power or the juice to one effect?
You can make multiple effects because you have multiple juice, right? So like you can create multiple statuses, for example.
Okay.
But there's no way to save those for later, is there?
There is a way to save them for later, but in order to use them later, the circumstances under which your juice arose has to still exist. So in this case, because you're trying to hurry the cops out of there, you probably won't be able to hold on to the juice for that long.
Okay.
It's very typical where you wouldn't want to necessarily bank your juice.
Spilled most of our juice.
You'll get more.
I think in piggybacking off of Job, that the pressure that she is putting on these guys would be incredibly distracting and disorienting, and they're just like, oh, okay, there's somebody here. Let's just and it's just a distracting amount of pressure. So I would like to apply. I would like to apply all of that to a distract.
Okay,
To
so
assist Job in what they were trying to do.
okay, so essentially what you're doing is you're taking the distracted one, adding 4 tiers to it to make it distracted 5, which is great. I mean,
Can I apply it to the other cops as well?
Well, okay. So
Or do I need to split it up amongst them?
So I sort of glossed over the details because it's almost guaranteed success here.
Right.
But the details are that you're basically upping the distraction tier to what, like it's, 4, and then you're scaling up the effect with 1 additional juice.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess technically the cops are now distracted 4, but they're all distracted 4, not just, the one that you were interacting
Cool. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
And say, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah. Okay. So the cops are, all of a sudden they're like, you know what, we got to get out of here. This is a waste of our time. And Kidu's right. We got other stuff to do. She's a good cop, I guess. So, let's get out of here. This is a nightmare scene. I know, right? They're jerks. They don't know a good cop when they see him. So they are sufficiently distracted. Now, Baku, the spotlight moves. Tell us what you're gonna do, how you're gonna get in there.
Right. So, I like the idea that, like, it's kind of like a friendly priest is like, "Oh, hey, do I know you from my congregation?" As like all these like police officer and crime scene investigators are like streaming out, and so there's like a stop, right? And it's like a bottleneck. So like as the front row stops, the rest of them like sort of like cluster up, and then Detective Enkidu is like, "Okay, come on, move it along, right?" So as that's happening, there's just like one dude who's just like just kind of like at the back of that throng and just kind of steps backwards, like, and then ducks under the tape, and just like seems like something about the way they sort of just like fade into the background. It's almost like blending into a crowd that just suddenly turn kind of gray and like, it's, hey, obviously there's no one in there, right? How could there be?
Right. Okay, so roll sneak around. And you're going to add, because the cops are distracted, you're going to get a +4 to it. At
Wow,
a
wait, so is that in addition to the +1 I got from job?
It's a total status of +4. So that combines both of their effects.
Gotcha. And I'm using my meld into the dark power tag.
Okay,
Oh, that's the
that
only
makes
tag
sense.
I'm using.
Okay.
Got it. Cool. So in total, that's going to be +6 to this sneak around.
+5, I think, unless I missed one of your tags.
Just it's meld into dark, and then it's 1 and 4.
Yes.
So it's 1 + 1 + 4. Yeah. Cool. Rolling. Where's the roll button? Oh, right. I have to hit sneak around.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Meld into the dark. All right, so
Yes.
you make it in. There was very little chance you were going to miss. As a matter of fact, if you had 6, it should have been power 5, I think, unless yeah.
Yeah.
But you succeeded nonetheless.
Yeah. In spite of the odds. Right. So I'm in. I'm gonna look left, look right. Realize I got the directions wrong. Shake my head, and then kind of like just like quickly look around to see if there's anything of importance for this investigation that might have been looked over.
Yeah. So you look around, and it's you can see the cops over there still very distracted. You look and you're like, well, it looks like it's just a closed up shop, although your gut feeling tells you something really terrible happened there. Your spidey senses are kind of raised, and it's quiet. There's nothing. You can hear the thunder outside. You can hear the rain hitting the glass. There is a back room, and then there's a bathroom as well that you can go explore.
I'm going to go into the bathroom first, because if this all goes awry and someone discovers me in here, I'll be like, "Oh, I was just using the bathroom. I'll get out." That's believable.
Okay.
Old bathroom excuse. And then I'll like look around there to see if something was like stashed there quickly during this break-in.
Okay. Well, you don't notice anything specifically stashed, and you're not exactly sure what the crime is as yet.
Oh,
All right, good point. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's what the cops told Detective Enkidu at the start. Would Baku and that have been in earshot?
You could have been.
I could have been. Quite.
Because that
It's
was one
up
of the
to you.
first things Detective Enkidu asked before,
Yeah.
like they all started coming out. So they
I
did
will
explain.
I will leave that up to you whether or not you actually heard that.
If it seems like that would be a bit of a solid give, then in order to earn it, like I could use a flashback if it's substantial enough to merit that. But yeah, the way Baku is, like, if he isn't being like, oh gosh, did I just see a monster? Oh no, that's just a dude. Then it's like he's not seeing it all, kind of, in some ways, at least when he's just out and about.
Right.
So like, yeah.
Okay. Well, you venture into the back room. It's a storage room where you see actually what happened. There is a there's an electrical cord tied from like one of the beams across there, and it's clear that there was a hanging in there to you. You know, you're not a cop, so you don't really know how to process the evidence, but it's clear that there was a suicide here. At least it appears that there was a suicide. Why don't you roll investigate to see if you notice anything else?
I would like to adapt. No. This would be divination. Yeah, no, right. My predatory senses and sniffing out monsters in the night. I want to see if there was any foul play. If it is relevant, I can apply the weakness tag of less effective against sleepers if it wasn't monsters. But like, the assumption is like, all right, maybe there was a hanging here, but like, it seems like foul play might have been involved. Like trying to sniff something out.
Right. Okay, so what were the tags that you were? I'm trying to pull up your character sheet here, but
yeah,
it's going slowly for some reason.
The two that are in divination are sniff out monsters and nightmares, and predatory senses. And if it's also relevant, then you know, like if these aren't actually monsters, but I might not know that as a character, then I can apply the weakness tag less effective against sleepers.
Okay, I'm gonna give you predatory senses, and if it turns out there are monsters involved, then you can roll an additional investigate, because we don't know that there's monsters or not yet.
Right. Okay, gotcha. So for investigate. Oh dang.
Okay, hang on, let me see what you got. Okay, you did it. Okay, so you succeeded, and you get one clue. So you look up at that knot up there with the electrical cord, and you know what? It doesn't look like it was tied in such a way that would support a person's weight. You also, in fact, I'll give you this one for free. You also notice that there is a puddle on the floor. Even now, there's a puddle down there. And let's cut at this moment. Let's go back outside. You're still talking to the police. They're kind of packing up and putting the things in their car. They're still very distracted. One of them pauses and says, "You know what? I think I might have left our report in there." And he starts to kind of rifle in his uniform, but maybe I put it in my pocket. Let's cut again. Back to the pizza place where we have Lily Chow and Tlaylock. You're still in line, but you reach the front of the line, and behind the counter, the proprietor, you assume, says, "Yes, hey, how can I help you?"
Hey, Tony, I know you guys are busy tonight. Don't want to take up too much time. I just heard about the news about Sammy. Rest his life.
Oh, terrible, right?
Did he have any trouble? What was going on? I haven't heard anything going wrong with his life of late, and then suddenly all this. Did you hear anything? Did he talk to you? Because he's running the whole thing, like, you know, business owners next door to one another. They probably talk shop. He's trying to get a bit of inside information to see if, yeah.
Roll investigate.
Could I add? I don't know. What could I add? I don't know. Is this that good down deep inside one again?
Yeah, sure.
He would actually be really good at like sneaking around, but I'm just not using him for that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a miss!
All right, thank God. Woo! Oh, sorry. I mean, that's sad. Okay. So here's what happens. He says, "You know what? I don't really know. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but I hope nothing too terrible happened to him. It's clear he doesn't know exactly what happened yet. All of a sudden, let's cut though. back to the one-stop shop. So this is where I get to make a hard move. And suddenly the police officer that thought maybe he left the report in his coat pocket has finished the search and says, "Oh, you know what? I left the report back in the one-stop shop. I'm such an idiot." He walks in toward the shop.
May I try and intercept him for a moment? So, like, you know what? I'll bring it by the office later. Do you need it tonight, or can it wait until the morning?
I mean, you know how the captain is about this stuff. I mean, it's just paperwork. If you ask me, I wanted to be doing real police work. That's why I'm out on the street. But I'm sorry, I gotta go do this. I gotta go in there.
I'll bring it by later.
All right.
I'm having a hard time sleeping these days, so I'll be up. I'll bring it by.
Okay, roll convince.
May I use police work?
Yes.
Cool. But
you know, Enkidu, I never
You're doing
really
so
liked
well.
you. You know, so the officer says, "You know what?" Doesn't get mad, but he says, "Yeah, you know, detective, I gotta take care of this myself." He goes into the one-stop shop and sort of leaves you behind.
Is there can Lily, because she's at the back of the pizza place, listening
Yes.
to his conversation, is she looking out the window? Because it's possible she saw first character's name,
Baku, you're good.
Baku, go in and then see
If
this
anyone
police trying
noticed
to go
Baku
in?
slip in who wasn't in on that kind of plan, it would have been Lily.
All right, so
Okay.
so it's possible that you saw it. In order to determine whether you actually saw it, why don't you roll? Let's see. What would be the best move for this?
Flashback.
I mean, I want to say, well, I wasn't going to force somebody to do a flashback because I'm just assuming that you had it. Well, it is kind of a flashback, right? Let's do a flashback.
Okay.
So as it turns out, you happen to be looking out the window and you saw them kind of do this. You know, you know how your teammates operate. So you saw this little tag team on the police. You may have seen the execution where her Baku goes in, but we don't know that yet. So we rewind time, and I want you to roll. Let's see. I mean, it's pretty much all or nothing, right? So it's, let's say, take the risk.
You've also got the plus. You got 2 points to. You can spend one of them.
Okay. So let's see.
Just as this might be an important roll.
+1, and then what can I use?
If you want to use one of the chat dice, just tell me and I can edit that and change that deck back down.
There doesn't. Oh no, there doesn't seem to be any on my sheet that are useful.
Are there?
And so for people in the chat, just so you know, once per session, each player can do a flashback and redo something to try to fix what's going on, and that's what we're seeing right now.
So it's take the risk.
Yeah. Roll
I'm
take
using
the
one
risk.
of my the bonus ones.
Okay,
Chat
cool.
dice, yep.
Nice. Thank you, chat dice.
We were having such great successes, and now it's just miss.
Oh, it was so boring, wasn't it? Now it's getting exciting.
And we've got another one. Yep.
Okay, Lily Chow rolls a miss. Nope, you didn't see a thing. So sorry. Let's cut back to the one-stop shop. Baku is looking at this puddle on the floor. Suddenly, you hear from behind you, "What are you doing in here?"
I freeze up, tense up. I
He
just,
reaches
you know,
toward his
I
radio.
want to help. Wait. All right, look, I don't want to make this a big thing. Look, Detective and Kidu, you know, she's been like a really big help, and you know, like, listen, I'm just trying to help her, like, make it, you know, make her break. You know, like, listen, man, like, you seem like a decent enough dude. You have history with the detective, right? Like, you know, she's helped me out a lot, especially with like a couple of my you know, kids. You know, like, see, I'm a martial arts instructor, and like a lot of these kids, you know, like they're you know, their home life isn't great, and like, you know, so there was a couple situations, right, where I don't, you know, no details, right, but she helped out a lot, right, man, you know. And so I figure, you know, like, you know, in terms of like, and yeah, and you know, she's pretty badass, you know, like swing, you know, like, I want to try and help her out, but like, you know, like, you're all like underpaid, and with the hours you got, you know what I mean?
Okay. Roll convince.
Got it. One of my weaknesses for this is that I am sometimes mistaken for a
I was
monster.
gonna invoke that even if
Uh,
you didn't.
Yeah, no, that's totally
Yeah.
fair. My character is not good at social situations.
Right.
I would be able to add either loyal students or mixed martial arts sensei, like I am
Oh, I
invoking
see.
that background.
Yeah, okay. All right. Nice job. You'll get.
Yeah, not both, but one.
Right.
Yeah.
Students. Did you say? That one sounds like the more.
Yeah, I have loyal
Yeah.
students.
Yeah. That sounds like okay. Go for that one.
And I think if we're gonna do it once this session, this might be the place to be like, be there for each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Burn that tag then. Click the little burn thing so you know that's a
And
good
that's
use
everybody
of that.
used. Everybody can't
Yeah.
use that from now on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was an excellent use of it because you're in a pinch here, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is not something I'm normally good at. All right, let's
Roll convince.
roll. Yeah, convince.
Oh God.
Okay, so I am the party's biggest fan. So the first thing I will tell you is
Okay.
you get to mark attention on that theme where you have the mistaken for a monster. So that's like 1 XP. So unfortunately, you didn't convince him of anything besides that you're probably a criminal trying to convince him of something. So he says, you can see him say, you know, units, I need backup right away. And he yells right at you. He says, turn around, put your hands up against the wall.
No.
And we're gonna cut right there. We're gonna go back outside we're gonna go back over to the pizza place. Where George Kim, or no, sorry, not George Kim. I'll tell you the pizza place owner name.
Bob.
I made it up. I said Tony.
Yeah,
Tony
yeah.
sounds like a perfect pizza guy.
And I want to make sure we get the names right here. So
Okay.
so the pizza place owner, and you know the pizza place owner's name is
Tony?
we're gonna go with no, because this is kind of a important thing to get right.
Okay.
Sorry, give me 1 second here. Michael
Yes.
Bryant. There you go.
Oh.
Oh, right, because your name.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll call Bryant, Michael Bryant.
Okay.
And he's like, look, you gonna order a pizza or what?
Oh yeah. So it's like, give me like one of those large family sizes. I got a few friends out here waiting for a hot pie. They know you make the good stuff, and
All
they
right.
will totally buy a family size pizza.
Perfect. You don't even need to roll. You're gonna get yourself a family-sized pizza. But we'll cut to right outside the one-stop shop now, where you hear a crackle over the radio. We need backup. All of a sudden, that the officers that you thought you had control over, that you thought were distracted, you had them in the palm of your hands. You see one of them or both of them look toward inside the one-stop shop. One of them puts his hand on his weapon and they said, stay back. there's an incident of some kind. You can see them both move toward the one-stop shop.
I just like to the one putting his hand on his gun is like, hey, look, seriously, I'm sure it's not like you don't need to pull that out. We don't need gunshots. You don't need like death in the community, and can't we just and please and try to just calm him down a little bit and just at the very least, not draw the weapon. And I want to use nothing left to lose and compassionate.
Okay, roll convince. There you go. Okay, so the officer looks at you. Turns out he is a member of your congregation.
So another +1 to that.
Well, you didn't know until just now.
No, I didn't.
I just made that up.
Yep.
So he keeps his hand. He kind of drops it off of the weapon off to his side, but he still has his eyes clearly focused on the one-stop shop. And he says, "Father, you're gonna have to back up. We have an incident here. There's some serious business. So would you please back up? Please. We don't want anybody to get hurt." And of course, the other officer is already making his way into the one-stop shop. And
So,
but sorry.
What I would
Combat.
like to do, yeah.
Yes.
So, I'm going to turn to the officer that Job is convincing, I suppose, and be like, "You stay here and secure the street. I'm like grabbing my pistol and heading in after the police officer that went back inside."
Okay.
And
That's going to technically be a sneak around because you're lying. You're not actually, you're just trying to fool the officer.
Okay. Can I invoke the power, the police badge standard issue pistol?
Yes.
And police force?
Standard issue pistol. Yeah, I think in this case you can because they're sort of going for their guns too. So you're going to kind of want to you want to go cop on them to show that you're kind of on their team.
All right. So you said a sneak around?
Sneak around.
Hey!
There you go. Okay.
There we go.
So one of the cops says, "Okay, detective, I will help set the perimeter out here. Go in and go for it." And so you're clear to go in, but you're behind another officer who's already made it in there. And with that, we're going to cut back into the back room where Baku is being yelled at, commanded in like the cop voice, turn around, face the wall.
I turn around, I face the wall. Baku just sort of like, breathes in, breathes out, and hands on head, all that stuff, and basically just like waits. I imagine in terms of I'm not sure if this would be a good place for monologue, or like specifically voiceover monologue. That's the one.
No. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that. But yeah, no, like, he's just hands her up.
Okay. The cop seems slightly relaxed by your compliance, and he goes to put handcuffs on you. He's got them out, and if you don't do anything, he just slaps them on.
Yeah, they're on.
All right. Meanwhile, another officer comes in and says, "What's going on here?" Followed closely thereafter by Enkidu, who is there within seconds behind of what just happened. What do you do, Enkidu? You see what's happening. You can immediately tell what's going on. You know you've gotten had, and you've gotten in here. Oh, you're muted.
Baku, what are you doing here? This is not a place for a civilian. I'm sorry. He's really been terribly energetic. He's not normally like this. And Baku,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
You know, hey, I'm sorry, Kidu, I just, B had your back, Baku, I'm trying to, do my best, and like, well, at least it's you reading me my rights, right?
You're not normally like this. What's the deal? Like,
I just wanted to help
guys,
out with the investigation.
Look, I know that there's I know a lot of the small time crooks here. This is not a problem. I'll take care of it. And I'm just gonna try and like convince this cop that he's with me. He's not supposed to be here. I'm sorry. Basically kind of taking responsibility for him. And just kind of trying to convince them to let him go and let us leave.
Okay.
Again, you've got chat dice just pointing this out. It might be an important role.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that convince is the correct role, and I haven't given any statuses on these cops yet. So I think you just choose the power tags that might apply. Go for it.
So, as I had said, local small-time crooks, I'd like to invoke that. And
they know you're a detective. They know that this is kind of what you do, or they believe it's what you do.
So then, police badge as well.
Oh, we don't want to burn that yet necessarily, but what we could do is like, this person is a licensed private investigator. It's not like, just a civilian walked into a crime scene. They had a license to do this kind of thing. They just shouldn't have been doing it without express permission.
Without my assistance. And can I also?
I wouldn't suggest burning it so quickly.
Would you
This
say?
is the first scene.
Yeah, you're right.
Would you say that you're in my jurisdiction would work here, or would that be contrary to the spirit of this convince?
Well, yeah, not
scene.
really, because
Okay.
you're in their jurisdiction just as much as
Gotcha.
they're in
Okay.
your jurisdiction. So I mean, it's a good attempt.
So then-
I appreciate the creativity there.
All right. So local small-time crooks and police badge.
Yes, that works.
And the extra power stuff you got.
You got chat dice if you wish to need a chat plus one or two.
I can only use one at a time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then I will. Yeah, I'll crank that up.
Okay.
So that will give me a power 3, and it won't let me change it on the sheet. So we'll just add 1 to the roll.
Or I think you can push +1 on your character
plus.
sheet as well. Yeah,
Look,
like there's
yeah.
a plus and minus up higher on the sheet. You can add 1 to it.
Oh. Yep, I can do that.
Perfect.
All right. Here we go.
It's almost as if I designed this system with the
Oh,
sheets in
come
mind. Oh my
on.
god, we still failed.
Can I come out with a pizza and be like, hey guys, you want a slice?
Oh my goodness.
All right, so here's what happens.
Polly gets to have fun.
One of the officers looks to Enkidu and says, "Don't you have some place to be?" Did we just hear that they're consorting with this criminal? And suddenly you see we're gonna cut back to the pizza place, and you're in this sort of fun conversation with waiting for your pizza with was it Michael Bryant, who you know, and suddenly you see cop 2, maybe 3 cop cars just fly by the outside of the front, sirens, and you hear them screech their brakes. 3 or 4 officers coming out of the cars, running toward the one-stop shop.
Oh Lord. I have a really interesting idea.
What about Lily?
Yeah, does Lily want to do anything? Or
Let's give the spotlight to Lily. That's a good question.
Blue?
because you both clearly see that there's something has happened.
What do you think?
She looks at Tlaloc and is like, "Oh my goodness, what do we do?"
Okay.
You're the sweet talker. You should be able to. If anyone can stop a police shootout, it's you, right? You got this.
Tlaloc is gonna, like, because he's paid for the pizza and everything to the shoploader, right? He's gonna be like, "Catch you later, man. Is looking forward to this." And he's gonna like quickly turn to Lily, gonna like shove the family-sized pizza box towards you. He's gonna kind of open the flap so it kind of covers your face because he knows again you're trying to be hidden. He's like, let's go take this outside for a bit, and it's like, yeah, you know, Tlaloc, I got this covered. Don't worry about it. It's still raining outside.
I think I have an idea, and so Lily wants to add some sort of spell or accessory. She wants to run into a nearby alley so she can summon Iron Hans, because he takes saying his name 3 times to summon.
Right.
And he's also a big magic thingy and would not be great to have out in the open in this situation. So she wants to summon him and then have him cast some sort of charm on Tlaloc, so he's more likely to succeed in convincing everyone to calm down.
Okay. Okay. Roll change the game.
Okay. Let's see. What do I got to work with? I have. So first I'm adding the weakness tag of calling him three times to summon him. Knowledge of the arcane arts would be good. And would adding a spell to Tlaloc count as transforming the environment, or?
Let me ask you this. Your first tag that you wanted to invoke was what was it again? Oh yeah, knowledge of the arcane.
Yeah.
How does your knowledge of the arcane going to help Tlaloc be more charming?
She's using some sort of glamour spell on him so that people feel compelled to listen to him.
Okay.
I like this. This is going to tie in beautifully with what I've got.
Oh, and nice.
Change the game?
Yep, change the game.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you've got great success.
Sorry, the wrong one. I was looking at the wrong one. This is great.
Yeah.
I was looking at the last one.
Yeah, you also get to mark attention on that theme that has
awesome.
That has that particular weakness tag. So you succeeded. You have power of 1. You can spend it in any one of those listed benefits there. You create a story tag or a power tag.
Question: would I be able to put 2 dependent on? No, I guess it's already after. Never mind. Sorcerer Supreme gets 1 attention. Right.
Yeah, I mean, you might want to just create a story tag here that will last, enough for Tlaloc to be able to be more charming. In fact, it would be a status of like charmed 1. Let's go with that. Does that make sense?
Okay, so how do I do that, or do I have to do anything?
You don't have to do anything. So okay, Tlaloc, awesome. you are charmed 1 for your next move. As you run out of the pizza place, you feel this force giving you the feeling like, you know what, people are gonna believe what I say. I'm gonna be more smooth than usual.
All right.
Lily's just gonna watch from the alley she has hidden in with Iron Hans peeking over behind her.
You got
Alright.
the shinies from the vampire shinies to make you charismatic.
There you go.
Oh, I'm a sparkle pyre now? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Ta-da! All right, so I am going to take back my pizza box because I need that now, and I am going to kind of wander past there are some police who are still outside the one-stop shop. Actually, wait, hold on.
Well, you can see them diving out of their cars. Mostly, those are the ones you're
Yeah.
worried about. Yeah.
All right, so the ones who are like coming out of their cars and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to. No, I won't take the pizza box. I'm going to turn myself into water. It is raining because it's been all drizzly and wet of late. And I'm going to use my god's power to turn into water. And I'm going to flow towards these guys. And while they're distracted and assembling, I am going to use my sticky fingers power to nab one of their radios.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
And then
All right,
I want to take that with me so I can then like call into the radio in an anonymous voice going, all available units, there is a disturbance over at the bank down past, like, I'll say, 5 blocks away. There is a robbery taking place. Units, assemble and get there now.
Okay, so that is excellent. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to roll because this is crazy. I want you to roll take the risk.
Oh God.
You do have the chat dice.
I do have the chat dice.
Again.
I will add.
Some of these might be important roles, which we keep on
And I've
finding.
got the charisma boost from Lily. So that's that. I'll use the sticky fingers power tag. The turn myself into water. And can I do anything else?
Yeah, so I think I would ordinarily split this up into 2 rolls, but we'll just come
Okay.
up with 1 roll for now. But next time I think that it's going to be 2 rolls. 1 to like move yourself toward the
I am
In fact, let's
happy
make
to
it
split
2.
it.
Yeah. I think that makes more sense. Okay, so you're gonna turn yourself into water and try to flow yourself into one of the cop cars, and then on top of that, you're going to then try to make a radio call to convince, if you will.
Okay, so
The
that will
cops
actually
are
use 2 power things because I've got turn myself into water and I've also got flow through narrow spaces, so I can get into one of those cop cars easy as
Perfect.
in my water form.
Okay, perfect.
I also have shadow and observe, so I reckon I can like time how I sneak into one of those cars to be like I'm shadowing one of the officers to like wait until they just step out and then I float in and under and into the car.
I'm not going to go for that because I think you have only seconds to react, so you're not
Okay.
going to have time to like shadow and observe anybody.
All right, so turn myself into water, flow through narrow spaces, and I will use the chat point.
Nice. All right, there you go.
Thanks, chat.
Thanks, Neurocron.
And that was, what is this one? Take a risk or sneak around?
This is. Let's do take the risk because you're just moving fast. You're not really doing
Alright.
too much deception here.
I don't want to click the button.
You're water.
Mild
Okay.
success.
Hey!
It's a success.
Okay, yes, it is. It's a mild success. So the MC will offer you a hard bargain or an ugly choice.
Oh God,
So okay,
I'm gonna
so,
lose a pizza, aren't I?
So let's
Oh.
see here.
Not the pizza.
Honestly, let my character go to jail. I'm not worth
Yeah.
the pizza.
Well, okay, yeah. So you turn yourself into water, and you're flowing toward the car, and you notice that you haven't, like you could continue to go and make this radio call and try to call off all the cops, but you also realize now that if you do that, it's not going to stop the arrest of your friend. You could instead flow with your water. You could flow back into the one-stop shop and maybe there just do something to prevent that arrest. But you're not going to stop the flow of cops from coming into the one-stop shop.
I will still prefer to get rid of the extra cops that are coming into the scene. So I still want to make that radio call and divert these units.
Okay, excellent. Roll Let's see. You're gonna have to roll sneak around on that one because you are not a cop. You're just trying to convince them with your charm and wit, and your, +1 that you have from being charmed by an arcane spell, or an arcane ability.
Just trying to think if there's anything else I can add to that one, and I'm like, I feel like I want to try and like convince you to let me use the small time fixer tag because Lily was like, "You're smart. You know how to convince people not to do things. You can fix this mess, right?" It's like, yeah. I'm a fixer. I take
All
time
right.
to help me,
All
and
right.
I'll fix this.
And because she split into 2 rolls, she can then spend another chat dice.
Yes, I will be using one of those as well.
Yeah, I want to give you the small time fixer, but I don't know if I see it.
I fix issues as they are. No, that's all right. I'll go with the so I'll have a +2 basically, 1 from the charm and 1 from the chat point.
All right.
So this will be a convince, was it? Or
you know what?
take a risk?
Take small time fixer anyway, because I can imagine that part of
Lily was
fixing
looking
success.
at me with those eyes, and she was all like, "You gotta fix this mess," and he's like, "Yeah, I will. Take a bite of the pizzas."
All right, you sold me. God, I hate giving away pluses. Okay, go for it. +3. Roll +3 on. Sorry.
1.
Make it a convince. No.
Convince.
Sorry. Sneak around because you're being deceptive.
Wait.
1 and 1.
Let me reset this because I'm confused. So I've got small time fixer, and I've got charmed. I don't know what. Oh, that just adds it automatically to that. Got it, and then that. All right, so I've got +3, and we're convinced. You said now. Convinced.
Sneak around.
Oh, okay. Great success.
There you go. You did it. Okay. So suddenly your voice crackles over the radio, and the police that were running out of their cars, they hear that there's this, suddenly there's this major emergency, and they communicate quickly with the officers that are in there. The officers assure them it's under control. Okay, we've got this bigger deal. We've got a mass shooting or whatever it is. I can't remember what you said.
Robbery, bank robbery.
Oh, bank robbery, and they love banks. They're tools of the system. So they turn right around. There's capitalism to save. They get back in their cars and they drive away as fast as they can. Let's cut back inside the back room of the one-stop shop. You are cuffed, Baku. In Kidu, you stand there helplessly as these officers, now clearly they're going to take your friend away. And as a matter of fact, they seem to have found their report they were looking for, one of them, and they say, okay, well, you're going to have to come with us now, and they begin to lead Baku away. Either of you may take an action now if you can think of one.
We've had all this time.
Yeah.
I think I am going to.
You don't have to do anything, right? I mean, you could.
I don't, but I do. I don't, but I do. It's like, just what do you think you're doing? Like, just what do you think you're doing? This is my this is my neighborhood. You can't just take him away. He's with me. He's not supposed to be here, sure, but blah. He can't. No, and I'm going to. I want to invoke Unleash the Beast Within.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I was trying to figure out how this was different from your previous one, but let's see what we can do. You're going to unlock the mythos.
Yeah, at this point, I'm trying to intimidate them to let me.
Oh, there you go. You got it.
Hell's just donated a redemption. A chat dice for you, Combat Space for Indiku. So you now have 2. So would you like to spend one on this very important role?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to use the power tag, Unleash the Beast Within, the weakness tag, Uncouth Brute, because I am trying to intimidate my fellow cops. I don't feel that police badge would apply here unless you
No,
are
no.
okay with that. All right.
No, because if I understand you correctly, you're now trying to basically just scare them, not try to like fool them with official stuff.
You're trying to
Yeah.
intimidate
Right.
police with a police badge.
Yeah, that's
so,
not gonna work.
yeah, it's more a I'm trying to intimidate them to let me handle this because this is my friend in my neighborhood. You're in my jurisdiction. So can I use that as well? The
But
power
this is
tab,
their crime scene.
Yes.
I
yes, but this is
I can
get that.
add one to Alex's role for Detective and Kidnu if they are sort of like becoming more like intimidating and awakening this power that's kind of monstrous. I can invoke my own power tag, adapt to my prey's abilities, like the idea that there's like specifically an adaptation, right, where it's like basically in response to another monster or nightmare, I can adapt, and the adaptation to like be more survivable in the situation is to be more sympathetic, where it's like, yeah, really, guys, yeah, boys, I'm not worth the trouble, BK here, yeah, I'm no trouble, I'm shaking my hands, but like he'd be cuffed probably. Yeah, I'm no trouble. I really like, I just let me go, with the detective. Just don't make
Okay,
a
I'm gonna
fuss.
keep the spotlight on Enkidu until we figure
For sure.
out.
I just want to add +1 to their roll.
Okay, that's not exactly how the system works. I mean, we could
Oh.
we could change the game and perhaps get a status that would be helpful.
Okay.
The more
But I
we
don't
roll,
know if-
the more risk there is. I
Right.
don't think we've
That's
figured
how the
that one
system
out
works,
yet.
right? Yeah, right.
This came from one bad roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So remind me, does the you're in my jurisdiction version of this is my neighborhood, let me handle this apply here or no?
No, and I say that because you can't do this. Like you kind of already tried that, and they're like, yeah,
Gotcha,
no,
gotcha.
we're not,
Okay.
we're not.
I got you. All right, so that's gonna be the power tag of Unleash the Beast, weakness tag Uncouth Brute, and a chat dice +1.
They totaled.
The weakness tag, does that apply a bonus or no?
Weakness
That
is a
actually
minus.
does reduce one, so you might not want to invoke your weakness tag. I'm not going to force you to right now, so you might not want to invoke it on this particular roll. It's up to you, and you do
don't
get an
know,
XP
like,
for it.
I almost feel like I'm required to because of the character's motivations.
Okay.
It's just being.
Yeah, that's the right way to play the
It
game.
is what it is. Okay. So what is this? You want it
So
to
I
be
think it's a
change
roll.
the game?
No, this would be, let me think. Okay, so you're I'm still not clear what you're trying to do. Are you trying to
Intimidate. Yeah,
intimidate them, scare them?
This is intimidate them. Try and like put my. This is my friend. This is my responsibility. I'll take responsibility for him. Let me handle this.
All right.
And that's what I'm trying to do. It's just trying to intimidate them to let me
Yeah.
handle this situation.
I think that's go toe to toe.
Go toe to toe. Okay.
Yeah. First
right.
go toe to toe.
This can go badly.
Oh no.
Okay, miss. Well, that was a terrific roll. So, you become slightly monstrous in their eyes. They kind of recoil for a second, but the mist of the city kind of engulfs you, and then they just see you just angry as you were before. They know you're mad. They're like, well, this is just an angry detective. We've seen that before. Come with us, sir. And they take Baku out in handcuffs toward the police car. And we cut back to where are you, Job, right now?
I'm just watching all this happening. I'm like, what is going on in that shop?
All right.
Like,
Well, you
what?
see a couple of officers emerge with your friend Baku out the front door, clearly arrested, clearly going to take him downtown. I'm going to put the spotlight on you now.
Okay, let's bring in the congregation. Let's make it all. Let's start. Let's get a mob together. Let's get
Of
mob
course.
justice against the police. Well, against that police, not against our detective friend, but to try to get them to like, hey, he's a member of the local neighborhood, and try to really just get as many people on the streets and surrounding businesses spotlighting on them and trying to get just that little bit of morality pressure on there, using compassion, my congregation, or my silver cross, of course. And again, I think I've got nothing left to lose because this is going so escalated that I pretty much don't have anything left to try.
Nothing left to lose. All right, well, I'll give that to you.
Compassion. Compassionate.
Um,
That's probably one that's like really on the mark, but on the edge. But
Tell me how you
congregational-
speak to them. Let's role play this out. So they come out. They have your friend in chains. They're clearly, they clearly haven't, they've already had people try to talk them out of what they're doing, try to threaten them out of what they're doing. They're done talking, pretty much. But here's your chance.
I'm also going to do righteous man then, if you're going to do it that way. Because, well, you want me to do it. Everyone in Miller Square, look at this! Police arresting our own congregation, our own faithful people. Come on, rise up and show these police that we'll not stand for this anymore. We need to be righteous, we need to stand up, and we need to stop this corruption to our local police force. Come with me and stop with them and try to get them to stop.
Perfect.
Taking
I
it
love it. So you even catch the attention of a couple bystanders that were just kind of hurrying by. I don't want any trouble. They
So
kind of look over,
That's 3
roll,
tags.
convince.
And I'm going to spend a chat dice because I'm sick of us failing all this. Because we keep on failing this simple, trying to get him out of trouble. Convince, here we go.
7, great success. Okay, so here's what you can do
I've
now.
got 10.
Sorry, 7 plus. Sorry. You rolled a 7. You got a 10, which is a great success.
Actually,
Here's what you can do now. You can give these cops. So you haven't stopped them, but you can give them a status that is equal to 3. So they could be,
shame.
open to discussion 3, or
I think
willing to
open to-
listen
yeah.
3, willing to listen.
But I think
3.
that's the best one. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And
the
trying to
cops-
get the crowd to start looking and trying to get yes.
All right, the cops are not willing to listen 3 for some reason. Maybe one of them, perhaps one of them was your in your congregation. Your speech stirred something in the crowd, but also in the cops, and they think, well, I mean, is this guy really worth it? Like, we live here too, so they're willing to listen. They pause. You had a moment. Now, let's move the spotlight back to Tlaylock, because you're out of the pizza place. You're in the car as water. What do you do now?
Can I flow out of the car? I did not want to go on a joyride to like this
No.
non-existent bank robbery.
Okay.
Can I, with my flowing through like tight spaces, can I just like after the radio call just like slide on out and just kind
yeah.
of join in with like, because it's like been raining and stuff, join in with the water in the gutters kind of thing for the moment, just to like figure out
Yeah.
what's
Okay.
going on and just lie low and then see what I can do next.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I want you to do. Because you're flowing out of a car as water, you're going to, like, are you going to reconstitute into a person, or
No,
are you going?
I'll be because I can travel. No, so I'll just be using my flow through narrow spaces, and then I'll be joining into like the water in the gutters from the rain, just so I don't look out of place as this big puddle out of nowhere, because it's been
Right.
raining of late. So I'm just I'm just lying low.
Okay, that sounds like a sneak around.
Yeah.
You got to get out of that cop car. There's going to be puddles left, but you don't want that attached to you. It's all wet in there. It's weird, but it has nothing to do with you, hopefully.
Hopefully. Do I still add on the turn myself into water, or that's just Do I still take that? Or because it was already
what?
from before?
I think yes, because you're doing a separate action. That was going to the car, and now you're trying to get away from it.
Okay, cool. And then sneak around.
Again, this is just the first scene.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's intense.
I
Hey.
love this game. I love this game.
Yeah.
You liked the hard choice or the bargain.
Oh, that was fun, right? Yeah.
I know you. I know what you
Yeah.
like. Yep.
I'm getting even. Okay,
Ooh.
mild
Yeah.
success. So you turn yourself in the water. So you float. You've managed to turn yourself into water. You've managed to make it out of the car. You're flowing into the kind of this puddly area. But you notice that there's one puddle near you, but it's dry for whatever reason underneath the building awnings where you kind of feel like you would be out of sight. So instead, you're kind of stuck in the middle of the street. If you were to move any further, people would perceive you, or they would see this, something was wrong, and you'd get you would gain attention you don't want. So you're stuck as a puddle in the middle of the street for now.
Now, okay, cool.
But
cool.
you got out of the car. All right.
That was the big thing.
Yeah. All right. So I want to give Lily Chow a chance to perhaps. I'm going to give the spotlight to Lily. Where are you and what are you doing now?
I'm just watching all of this mayhem unfold, and it's like going back and forth, and Lily is just so confused as to what to do because the police is exactly what she's trying to avoid getting involved with. All these detective cases with these people on the streets and whatever, that's fine, but dealing with law enforcement who know who she is, that's a problem. So, she is going to... okay, so what is the situation so far? A lot of the police are leaving, and then some of the police are still there, and they're willing to listen. And
Yeah. So the only police that are left are the two that are taking Baku in handcuffs to a police car. You can see this happening, and you see your friend Job stand up and give this rousing speech, which seems to have against all odds somehow caught the cops' attention. And you think maybe there's an opening there. I don't know. I don't want to tell you what you're thinking. You tell me.
Okay, so she's weighing her options. She's thinking, okay, I could try and find some magic way to do stuff indirectly, or I could go in there and do something and expose myself, or I could find something a little bit in the middle. And that is where she's going. That's what she's going with. She's going to... First, so on her outfit, she has these little seams all along all her outfit, and she pulls them out and flips them. It's like reversible scales, and she is now wearing like a brightly colored outfit that she would never wear, and it's like reversible clothing, but without having to take them off. And so she does that, and then she runs into the crowd, and she's like, yeah, these guys... What's their problem? We shouldn't let them do whatever they want just because they're police. And she's like getting the crowd to like get on the side of the minister and stuff. So
I would like to create a riot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you come out. You're now adding to the pressure these police are feeling. The need to maybe this ain't our fight. Maybe it's not worth the effort. Why don't you roll convince?
Okay. So I'm thinking she's gonna use punk outfit, definitely. Indignant, I think, fits. I'm not sure if evade pursuers would, because she is trying to hide her identity, but she's not exactly doing that right now. So I'm gonna
Could
use...
you swing that to be trying to help Baku evade his pursuers.
That is true. I know a lot about evading pursuers. I can help the situation where he's escaping. So I have all my runaway punk ones activated, I think. And sorry, what did you want me to?
Sorry, I think the right role is not actually convincing. I think it's take the risk, but I'm also going to give you the +3, which is willing to listen.
Okay.
So you're going to apply the status that the cops have from Job.
Awesome.
So I think this is going to be ridiculous. Okay, so
Wait,
you,
They
you
do have a
forgot
big
one.
status.
I used my power tags though, so shouldn't that be a +6? I mean,
yeah. So I think you actually rolled a 9, right? So it's take the risk, which means it's a mixed success. So I will offer you a hard bargain or an ugly choice.
Plus their
Okay.
status of being open to listening, which will then put that way more than 9.
Wait a second, I thought.
Yeah,
No,
the three is
I
the status.
I have
That's the +6 is including the +3
Yeah.
status.
Okay. Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's okay.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So here goes. You can. Okay. So you can convince the cops to not take Job away, but if you do, then their attention is going to now be on the rest of you, or you and Joe, because now they see you're working together, and you will both take the status of noticed by police 2.
Oh no, Lily.
No, my outfit was so fancy and was supposed to prevent this. This is the worst. Okay, so... Oh no. So, and Job is... Oh no, I'm putting Job at risk too if I do this. I don't...
All right.
This is a very difficult decision.
Can I try? Can I sneak into the scene somehow?
I'll give you the
I'm
spotlight.
kinda-
What are you thinking?
All right. I don't know whether you want me to be able to do this as a puddle. If I need to revert form, sure, why not? In the middle of the street, I can do that because everyone's kind of distracted by the crowd. I'll take that risk.
Okay.
But basically, I would like to call on I have a power tag, call upon a storm. I want to summon the biggest, baddest, sudden, like it's going to flood the gutters instantly, kind of downpour, thunder, lightning. And then I would like to do thunderbolt manipulation and have it just kind of smash into one of the police cars.
Whoa! Okay.
And cause a really big distraction.
Okay, so
For the quick Leggett action coming soon.
yeah,
Stay
all right,
tuned.
so yeah, right. So we're 2 hours in. It seems like this would be a moment, a cliffhanger for a break that we can come back and resolve what happens.
In our
And we
first
talk out
scene.
of character going,
Summoning-
what the hell?
First
This
scene.
is
Yeah.
messed up,
This
y'all.
may be more than 2 weeks. If this is the pace that we do.
If we keep messing up so bad, yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's a fun game. After 2 weeks, I might want to move it from Tuesdays. That way I can do a different game that I normally do on Tuesdays. I'm down.
Yeah, me too. This
Just-
is fantastic.
We'll be back soon. Stick around. Thank you for the donations and the
Yeah, thanks
subscriptions,
everybody.
the gift subscriptions, I should point out, and the followers and all the other bits. We'll be back soon. This is just one snowball. Like, it's just a downward spiral.
That's how this game rolls. It's a
Join
great
us on the
game.
slip and slide
Yeah.
adventure after
This
the
is
break.
not atypical.
At some
This
point,
is
we may
not
look-
atypical.
At some point, we may learn to dig upwards instead of dig down.
That
wanted
does happen
pizza.
too.
I know, pizza.
Yeah.
The
I will
more
say
rolls we
if
do-
this if this all pays off and even if Baku has to spend the night in jail or whatever, right? Man, I got a flashback in mind that will make it all
There
worth
you
it.
go.
I ain't gonna say
There
more
you
than
go.
that.
Yeah.
Nice,
Hold
nice.
it. Keep it in. Right.
I get. All right, we'll be back shortly. Stick around. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gosh Goblin. We're coming to part 2 of our first adventure, our first investigation for our City of Mist beginner box or starter box game. So let's go to everybody. Hello again. We're
Hello,
here.
everybody. We're back.
Yay!
Yay.
We're still in a bad roll. We're still in our first scene, and thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening.
Also,
Me,
moral dilemmas.
Donatello.
Yeah. Right.
Copyright. No. That's kind of where we finished off because we're still trying to get someone out of the police handcuffs. Hi, Steph. So, shall we
Yes.
go back straight into that?
And we return back to Miller Square, where it was lightly drizzling, but perhaps we're going to have the clouds open up and thunder and lightning strike down on the unwitting few that are still in Miller Square. So I believe what that is going to be.
Is a chat dice to Miss Lightning Bolt, Chibi.
Mhm.
From Cafe.
Okay.
Thank you.
And yeah, thanks for coming by. So this is going to be a roll of, let's think. I mean, you're trying to. I think it's going to be take a risk because you're just causing something tremendous to happen, hoping that it will cause them to what, scatter because the rain comes out.
I'm just hoping to create a large enough distraction that perhaps my compatriots will GTFO.
Okay, change the game. Yeah. Ooh,
And
there you go.
Neurocroc,
Thanks,
thank you
Neurocroc.
for the gift subscription. It actually goes to Blue.
Hey, you're now subscribed to
Thank
GoblinCaveTV.
you.
You got a mode, so well done.
That's so
Welcome
nice
in,
of you.
and that gives everybody 2.
Oh,
Bring on them points.
So Mystic, although you're saying just arrest me, you now have 4 of these, so you're gonna have to start spending.
me?
Yeah, and Chibi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to start
you
spending.
both have
No,
4.
let's not get too excited here.
You start to get a bit reckless when you have
Yeah.
those points spent, but I think I'm already doing something majorly reckless right now.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
missed the game earlier this week. Yeah. Anyway.
All right,
Right.
so I think what you're gonna do is change the game.
All right, so I'm going to be taking Call Upon a Storm, Thunderbolt Manipulation. What else? Not those ones. Nope. Yeah, I think those are the two, and then I'll add one of the chat points to it. So plus
Okay.
3 total.
All right, power 3. Let's see what you get.
I know you said it multiple times. Which one is it? Change the game or take a risk?
Change the game. I changed my mind, so I said both.
For all of that, it's a mild success, but it's still a success.
Yeah, it's okay. And change the game. There's no negative consequences to your mild success. It just limits your options. So you can create a story tag, burn a power tag, or a story tag, or give or reduce a status. And I'm guessing, I'm just gonna try to read your mind here, but you want the cops to potentially, be now distracted by the storm, or to think maybe it's no longer worth it to be in the storm.
Yes.
Or at least, okay, anyway, here's what happens. The skies open up, and just out of nowhere, the weather turns, and the biggest downpour, just boom. If you've ever been outside and you just see the water, just a wall of water out the window, that's what happens all of a sudden. The police don't have their umbrellas. They didn't expect it to be this bad. It usually rains in the city, but all of a sudden everybody is going to be drenched too.
Wrench 2. Oh wow.
Yeah, because that's the power of the roll. So the cops are drenched too.
Well, we are too, so.
Everybody is, yeah.
I'm guessing that can really affect lightning powers.
It might. It might.
But I'm not gonna hit the
See what you can do with that. Okay, so the spotlight goes back on those who are around these officers that are now, they actually want to get to their car, but the rain's kind of come down and they're not sure this is all worth it. The longer they spend time here, it seems like things are getting more annoying for them, but they're still moving toward the police car with your friend Job.
I'm going to see if I can try to convince them finally just to let him go. And so, listen here, son. I've seen I used to have everything once. When I got hit so hard, I thought I never got back up. If he goes to prison now, he might never return to us. Look, we may be able to bring him back from where he is. I can smell guilt from a mile away, and doesn't have a stench of guilt or criminal behavior. He just seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Just go and let him stay here, and we can take him into our fold and just try to rework his brain to be part of the community once more.
It's funny because smell is his superpower. So.
Okay, I want you to roll. I think convince is going to be the one that's going to put you over the top here if you can make it happen.
And I've checked listen here, son, or listen, son, which I've
I heard that.
Silver Cross or congregation, whichever one you would let me. I smell guilt a mile away, and also righteous man.
Okay.
Let me all those.
You can get Silver Cross and congregation because we established that one of the cops is actually a member of your congregation. So
Okay.
you can have both of those.
But I've also taken weakness. I see victim in everyone.
Let's see. You see a victim in everyone.
I
Okay.
actually mean that he might actually turn to crime, and you don't want that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Plus I'm
for it.
using one of the chat dice to carry.
All right,
And
Convinced?
their status.
yeah, convince. Well, they're drenched too, and I didn't hear how that really applies here.
No, I think them in the old
no,
status.
the
Open to talking.
Oh no, they're not open to. They're not open to talking anymore. That status is
Open to listening.
gone.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
So,
that was a temporary status that
convinced?
is gone. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. There's a lot of pluses here. Oh my god.
Perfect. Holy.
Wait, no, that should be +5.
Let's see.
It should be +5, but even still,
Well, that would be
I
a mixed
rolled
success
2
then with a
ones.
+5. So
yeah, the +1 when on the power thing doesn't work. It doesn't seem to.
oh really?
Yeah, I've got 4 in all the ticks that I did, but oh no, because there's a minus. It is wrong.
Okay, all right. So it's a miss, and while the rain comes down, the police really can't even hear what you're saying because it's the storm is too great. They're tired of this. They just want to get in the car now. People, the crowd that started to gather has now turned away because they don't want to get wet either. They're scurrying out of Miller Square. The cops take Baku, put him in the car, and they drive off.
Guys,
They head over to precinct 23.
we
Shouldn't
tried
have
to
taken the
investigate
weakness.
a crime scene and look at how that turned out. I'm not sure we can do a jailbreak.
Now, out of the corner of your eye, you see, kind of emerging from the shadows, opposite of everybody else, there's a storm coming down, and you see people scurrying, but that kind of draws your attention to the odd 2 shadowy-ish figures. Think of like old-timey gangster clothing with the fedoras and everything. You see 2 people.
They have fins.
What's that?
Do they have fins?
Oh yeah, for sure. And they have like a flower in the hair, and you just see them standing there watching, as if as if they have been kind of interested in what's going on at the one-stop shop the whole time, and for some reason they don't feel the need to leave. And with that, I just want to remember now where everybody is. So where's Enkidu now? You're outside, I assume.
Yeah, so I Enkidu would have like been following behind the cops, like screaming obscenities and like trying to get them to unhand her friend, to no avail, clearly.
Right.
But yeah, is for the most part just standing outside the one-stop shop, like sulking and
Okay.
just like fuming and just it's quite clear that she's not happy. She's so not happy.
All right, I understand that. How about Lily?
Lily is like right in the middle of where the crowd just was and is dispersed, and now she's by herself and looking at these shady people because they're out in the rain. They like water. Obviously, they're shady shark mafia. That's the only explanation, and I called it.
Excellent theory for which you'd get no confirmation or
Just a
in a
warning,
denial at this
what we
time.
say becomes canon. So if you say they're the Shark Mafia, that might happen.
True. Well, she thinks she's right about being Shark Mafia, but you could give me ideas. All right, finally.
Dolphin Mafia.
The dolphins in
Oh, Mafia War.
Sharks clothing.
Sharks versus dolphins.
All right, and Job, you've just seen your friend dragged into a police car despite great effort by everyone. It just didn't happen this time. What are you thinking? What are you gonna do?
Well, we tried. Shall we get another investigator, or shall we keep going with who we've got here? Wait,
I feel at the very least they're gone, so we have free reign of the place.
why? We could have just gone in now.
That was my plan. I was going to wait for them to.
Wait, that was your plan? My plan was to distract so they could go in.
Oh yeah, the recriminations happening.
I was trying to get them off the property so that we could go in and have free run of the place.
I think your plan would have been better. I really think your
Probably
plan.
right. Regardless, now I've got paperwork to do, and I gotta go pick him up from the precinct. But don't want to make it too suspect. We could give it some time. Take care of this while we have the opportunity, and go pick him up after.
Okay, meanwhile, the spotlight moves over to our puddle on the street. But Tlaylock.
As a puddle, would I notice those two shady folk? Can they see us a puddle? I assume I can see,
Yeah.
otherwise I won't know where I'm going.
You're actually in charge of that kind of thing. In this game, like
Yeah.
you have a lot of liberty as to describe what your character can do, as long as it's within the the
Within
four
reason.
corners of your character sheet. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to. I want to as water now that the streets are flooded. I want to make my way over towards those two shady folk, and I want to investigate them a bit, see if there's anything if they're saying anything to one another, if they're doing any sort of typical villain monologue of I see those heroes were trying to investigate the scene, but they acted poorly kind of thing, and just see what I can kind of get if they're talking.
Okay, so you are moving as a puddle in a rainstorm. So there's no, that's basically going to be a success. So you make your way underneath them, And, they're like, oh, it's so wet around here. They don't notice anything is off. But you do hear them say, oh, don't cross Honey Lip, otherwise, this thing is gonna happen to you. And they're like, yeah, they're tough. They've really changed this neighborhood. This is why we got to be loyal to the boss. We cut and we go. We're now in the squad car. We have 2 police in the front seat. We have Baku in the back seat. And we arrive at precinct 23. You're taken from the car. They're not speaking to you, but you're just, casually being brought into the station. There's an entrance room full of cops working at desks. You're sat down and they attempt to take your routine booking information.
I make sure to give it all to them. I'm gonna comply. Like I let them know my place of business. I don't seem to have any kind of prior criminal record that they're aware of. I imagine if you're asking for a role at any point that involves like their suspicion of me or like their permanent like sort of my reputation with them, I will burn the nunchuck tag and those will be stashed on someone else's person. Probably Lily, because she's the most punk.
Okay, so I didn't consider that you had nunchucks on you at the time. You're not gonna have.
I don't
those.
think you would have kept them on his person.
Oh right, okay, yeah. So you're not gonna have access to the nunchucks anyway. But they're not going to try to pin anything on you. They are pleased as punch. You're complying. That they're filling out their report. They don't really want any trouble. Things go smoothly, but they do take you to jail to just the kind of holding cell, and you're going to be left there. You've sort of lulled them into a sense of complacency. If that was your goal, they don't know, you from anybody else. Like it was kind of weird that you showed up in the one-stop shop, but they haven't really put 2 and 2 together to think you're a real threat. You might just be a small-time crook without a record. And
possibly.
So with that, we're gonna. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we're gonna cut. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna cut. Go ahead and say it.
Oh, okay. It's just, sorry. Oh, I think I'm gonna wait for the rest of the group. If any of them stop by, I'll talk with them then.
Okay. So we go back to Miller Square. We're going to focus again on Playlock, right? Is that, I got that right? I don't know why I can't get that name right.
I've been saying like Slaylock as well.
Yeah.
That's all right.
All right.
You can call him Lock for short.
Lock. So we focus on Slaylock and
detective agency. We call him Sherlock.
Yeah. I wonder if that's where it comes from. I don't know.
So Lily does at least.
So you hear what's going on here, and you listen for a while, and it's clear that the death in the one-stop shop was a mob enforcement action, and in fact, these 2 people appear to be, by your estimation, members of the mob.
All right. As a form of water, and you have mentioned specifically that people are now drenched, can I sneakily float up one of their bodies and see if I can use my sticky fingers to pinch some form of identification without them knowing it?
Oh, you can certainly try. That would be a sneak around.
Awesome. All right, so I've got sticky fingers. I've got turn myself into water. Would this count as flow through narrow spaces?
It is.
Going up under one of their trench coats.
Yeah, right. Sounds like it.
I thought I would say that.
Sounds like it.
Do I have the benefit still of Call Upon a Storm because it's still thundering down heavily upon everyone? New move.
But you're not.
Makes movement easier.
Yeah. I think I'll give that to you.
Awesome. Sneak
then
around.
2
Do I
from
want-
drenched.
Yep, and 2 from drenched. I know, right?
That's 6. Leverage it as much as you can.
Do I add a chat point to it too?
You do. You got 3. We
Lordy.
maxed them out at 4. So
All right. So it was 4 from the power cards, 2 from drenched, 1 from chat. So that's +7. Great success, guys!
and
Yay!
still only got 13.
Hey, well, still, that's pretty good. All right, so you turn yourself into water. You kind of flow around there, like this one gangster's outer jacket. You look around for ID. You don't see any ID, but what you do find is a receipt from your watery eyes appear. You can see. Wait a minute. That says Second Chance Pawnbrokers.
Oh, that was right here. Okay. I'll,
All right.
Yep.
And we'll just cut right there and we'll go back to the center of Miller Square. And anybody that has any idea what they're going to do can just let me know.
Right. Detective Enkidu is going to just kind of cross the police tape and head inside and start looking around. Try and figure
Lily
out.
is gonna unreverse her brightly colored outfit back to her like dark punk outfit, and she's gonna follow the detective inside where it's safer than going to the jail to help Baku with all the police inside, and better than staying out here.
Okay, now the one thing I would note is while you're walking inside, you do have these 2 gangsters that are talking to each other. They're looking exactly at the one-stop shop. So they didn't bat an eye when Enkidu went in. Well, they didn't react when Enkidu went in. But you think maybe, a teenage girl going into the one-stop shop at an active crime scene might be noticed if you don't take precautions to try to avoid their gaze.
Right.
Then I'm going to interrupt and
Lily,
go over to them
Lily is
and start
considering.
preaching the word of our Lord.
Lily's considering just being like, she's my cool aunt. Stop staring at us, you weirdos.
Well, I was trying to distract. You're just drawing attention.
I think
Okay.
I'm trying to convince. I think, or yeah, would convince work?
I mean, they're not really in a position to have a conversation with you. Like I think the question is,
I
You wanna
do.
accept-
I do
you wanna
stare.
accept jobs,
I see them staring
distraction.
like from across the street or whatever, though. So I'm just like,
right.
with my indignant, indignant attitude, is just like, stop being creepy.
All right, so I'm going to move the spotlight over to Job for just a second.
Okay.
Would you like to accept the word of our Lord and Savior?
All right, so you're going to attempt to engage them in conversation just enough to maybe get the Lily to kind of sneak in. You sort of see what's going on. That's going to be a change the game roll.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to use the Silver Cross and Righteous Man. That's the only thing I can think of.
All right, so
Playing the role of the preacher man.
Yep. All right.
So change the game.
Roll +2 then. And it's a mild success. All right, so you can give both, let's say both of the gangsters, since they're working together, you can give them both a status of distracted 2, or holy rollered 2.
Distracted.
Distracted 2. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Lily, you're now you see a moment to kind of go and you don't want to be noticed. You're sort of indignant about the fact that they're watching you, but at the same time, you might want to take advantage of whether they're distracted or not. So what do you do?
I guess since Lily does see him distracting them, Lily's just gonna try and like sneak by. So sneak in with the detective.
All right,
It'd
that'll
be
be
helpful to the investigation.
Okay.
So let's see. She's gonna take. I guess evade pursuers is really the only one
That's a good one.
fit.
Yeah, that counts.
How much chat dice do you have?
I have 3.
Yeah.
I think maybe in the heavy downpour it'll make it harder to see, and I think I can use that as my advantage. Yeah.
Benched.
I mean,
Good.
that's more toward the like, they can clearly see. They're just, they're just across the kind of a narrow street.
Never mind then. I'll do evade pursuers, and then I'll add a chat, and that is what I will do. And it's sneak around.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Oh, you did it! You made it in.
Yes.
You're
I'm
completely
so
unnoticed.
sneaky. Lily is the best ninja.
All right, and so you catch up with Enkidu, who also just moments before made it in. So Enkidu,
Okay.
Time to do detective work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
right.
time for me to do my job.
And I to help. Lily's
Right.
excited.
Come on, kid. Just don't touch anything.
right. Oh, go ahead.
So I would like to look for anything suspicious. In the time that I've been in Miller Square, the proprietor here, Sammy, hasn't seemed really like fallen on hard times. The shop appeared to be fairly successful.
It
Right.
does to you. It does to you. I mean, if you can, I will give you this one. So your first instinct is to check for financial difficulties, right? So you sort of look around the back room, you flip through the ledger. It appears that if he committed suicide, it wasn't because of financial distress.
Okay. Would I be able to leverage the fact that I've been working at the precinct for the last 10 years or so to gain the Streets of Miller Square power tag, or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you well, I'm gonna say roll investigate.
Okay.
And you can the Streets of Miller Square, so yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay.
Oh, good. All right, there you go. Okay, so you have a look around. You look up at the at that same like kind of knotted up electrical cord, and your instincts tell you, one, there is no way this guy died from hanging, assuming that he killed himself, which now you're immediately skeptical of. He clearly didn't die from hanging. Moreover, you notice a recently dried kind of discoloration. It's not fully dried, but a puddle on the ground. You that's something you've seen a lot of suicides in your time. You've seen a lot of murders, right?
Mhm.
And in none of those times have you gone. You go down to get a closer look at the puddle, and you start to catch a whiff of salt, and you come to the conclusion that this is seawater, like ocean water, underneath where presumably this body was.
And we're landlocked.
And you're
People-
landlocked, right? Yeah.
Lily
Pick it
is
up, you're
super
scratching.
convinced.
Yeah.
Lily knows exactly what's going on. Or at least she thinks she does, and she's very proud of herself for calling it.
All right, and so let's move the spotlight over to Lily for just one moment because she wants to assist in this investigation. So while Enkidu is looking around, you're kind of impressed with this detective work. So you try to poke around the back room and see what you can see too, if you'd like to, and if you would like to, you can roll investigate.
Yeah. Since Lily is well versed in being on the run and hiding things from people, she's gonna see if she can find some sort of document or reason that this person would have been killed by the mafia for knowing too much. Maybe they hid like a note in a false panel in the wall, like if I died, it wasn't a suicide. This is what I'm trying to get people to know, or whatever. Something like that.
Okay. Okay. You roll investigate.
Okay. I want to add something to Runaway Punk, but I don't know what. Indignant doesn't work. Evade Pursuers? She's not doing it though, but it's something that she...
I'm going to give it to you on this roll based on what you're going to find out if you succeed.
Okay, awesome. And I will add another chat point, so I will be down another one. And investigate.
All right, mild success. I wonder why it doesn't tell you what to do. So you get the clues as usual, but then I get to choose whether the investigation exposes you to danger, the clues are fuzzy, incomplete, or part true or part false, or who are asking the questions can ask you a question back. You're not asking anybody any questions, but here's what happens. Is you're over, you kind of wander back into the main room of the one-stop shop, and you see the register. There is, no money in it. It's clearly been taken out and put in the safe. There's a safe that has, a slide deposit. And you're like, okay, that's interesting. But then you notice out of the corner of your eye something funny about the wall. There's this old timey wood paneling, and you see it like a little, you see the ridges in the paneling, but then you see a couple of vertical ones.
Ninja Lily strikes gold again.
Horizontal ones, and you knew to look there because it seemed to you the most convenient place. If you were taking money out of the register and didn't want to put it in the safe, you would put it into this particular cubby hole because that's what you're used to hiding things. And so
she yells at the detective and is like, "I'm doing your job better than you."
Well, what you see when you open it up. What you see when you open it up, and I assume you've opened it up despite what Enkidu is yelling from the door.
Definitely, 100%.
It's some book, right? It appears to be a book, and you flip through it. It's got a bunch of numbers, and you can't make heads or tails of it, but you think it's. I mean, they hid it in there for some reason.
Secret codes. Yeah.
Okay. So this is still Okay. So it is. It's a mixed success. So you can't read the ledger. You can just you just feel it's something important that's hidden.
Lily still feels awesome for doing the best detective work.
And of course, you can tell Enkidu what you found if you want to.
And she's like, "Look at this! I found it. You didn't. I should be training you."
I'm gonna snatch it out of her hand. Kid, you gotta.
Lily is precious, and I adore her.
You can't be leaving your fingerprints all over the crime scene like this. It's you don't even have a badge. I'm gonna take a look at the book, see if I can make heads or tails of it.
All right, so roll investigate.
Okay.
You're not an accountant, but you do know that this is a ledger, and of course you know where it came from. So your police instincts tell you there's something to be learned here.
Okay. Would I be able to Does this look familiar at all? In the sense that I may know that there's corruption in this area, or this does
Yes.
this look familiar? Okay.
Yes.
Can I then may I or can I apply the weakness tag corruption everywhere?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, I will do that, and I will add a chat point. So police work, search for evidence, take off streets of Miller Square, corruption everywhere, and let's roll it. Investigate, right?
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Mild success again. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 clues, but your investigation could expose you to danger. The clues that you get are fuzzy and incomplete, or part true and part false. Here's what you discover when you look at it. So the strange writing, the strange numbers starts to kind of materialize in your mind, and you realize this is the classic like second set of books that the late Mr. Saddle did not want anybody to see. And what you discover is that your initial thought that maybe he was financially well off wasn't entirely true. It turns out by your scan of this, it looks like he was, damn near bankruptcy until pretty recently, maybe the last month, maybe the last couple of weeks. You can't really tell from the dates exactly when the money came in, but there's a large entry of just cash that came from outside. And as you try to match the columns and the numbers on there, you think, you're not 100% sure, but you think that the money somehow came from the second chance pawnbrokers, just out of nowhere. And it's not recorded. This second chance pawnbroker operation is not anywhere in the official records.
Okay.
So we know our next stop.
Meanwhile, let's cut to outside in the Miller Square, in the Miller Square, just outside the one-stop shop. The gangsters are sort of looking at their watches. There's been some investigations going on for a while. They only saw a detective go in there, but they do know a detective went in there. And those of you who are outside watching can see that they are, they had thought that it was sort of a routine kind of going into the shop and maybe sort of just closing it up. But they're like, that detective's been in there for a long time. And that seems to trouble them. So one of them takes their phone out and starts texting.
I'm still talking to them.
Okay, well, you're talking to one.
Unless they walk off. Okay, yep.
You notice this is what they're doing while you're talking to them. So they're somewhat distracted. They're not really distracted anymore. That was a temporary tag. So you managed to distract them for a second. But you can see now that they're focused on, this shop. And one of them, you might be talking to one of them, but the other one is clearly texting something.
This is going to get bad. I push the religious, not persecution, but religious conversion further than what a normal person should, and essentially try to really push them to repent and to. I'm actually trying to get them out of here, but if they don't get out of here, they're going to try to strike me, which is what I'm actually trying to trigger. So I'm actually going to...
Yeah, I mean, you've tried the religious thing on them, right? So they're not going to be convinced, right?
Yes, but in this case, I'm actually I'm going to give them a choice, if I can, of either hit me or get out of here, because I'm going to try to push it further than what it should be in the normal circumstances.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to endure any punishment, and nothing left to lose, and just really try to either get them out of here, push them out of here by being so over the top, or get them to either strike me and have that as a result, and then they might have to get out of here if they strike at me. So nothing left to use. Endure punishment. I hopefully it doesn't go to you can take my life, but you can't take my soul.
I'm hoping to do something at the same time as
Okay.
Job is doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mainly because you've mentioned that one of them is taking out their phone. I want to see if I can flow up the back of one person, like on the outside of the trench coat, and just kind of, you mentioned that they were wearing hats. I want to settle into the rim of their hat and then look over and down to see what they're texting
Oh, nice.
That's so
as
awesome.
water.
Okay, so Job knows that you're a puddle of water, so I assume that
I would have no idea where you are.
Oh, okay, all right. Well,
Especially if I'm blowing up the back of them, so it's like out of sight from his compatriot, as well as like the rain is still coming down. So I'm kind of, there's that reverse water flow going up his back that hopefully his trench coat is drenched and thick and he's not noticing it. And then I just want to like bridge that gap to the hat that you mentioned and just settle into that rim and then peek over as water is like dripping down the brim as he's looking at his phone.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this happens almost at the same time. So in order to figure out whether you have a chance of seeing this phone, we'll have Job roll the go toe to toe first.
Okay, let's go. Could I do? I don't think I can smell guilt, but yeah, I'm just trying to get their attention.
I mean, you're trying to like provoke them.
I am. I really am.
A mild success. All right. So you manage to achieve your goal, or you get them good, inflicting a status to your. So you block, dodge, counter their best attempts. Okay. So your goal was to provoke them, and so I'm going to say probably that Playlock's not going to be able to see this phone as easily. But in the meantime, you get in their face and you're like, God, you say, may God have mercy on your souls or something like that. And they look at each other and they're like, we've had enough of this. So one of them, the one with their phone out, puts the phone back in his pocket. The one without the phone says, all right, that's enough, buddy, and tries to push you. Get out of here.
This is my neighborhood. You get out of here.
All right. Let's see. They're
This is God's neighborhood.
Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. Is, buddy, we're gonna give you one more chance. Okay. I'm guessing you might not be from here. They don't know you actually are from here, but people listen to us. And when we speak, we're not used to argument, especially from the likes of you. When they say this to you, you feel this weird kind of feeling like, that you usually don't feel with ordinary people. You sort of feel compelled to listen for some reason. And, you're not, it's not status worthy, but there's something in your body that says, God, maybe I should listen to them. Maybe I shouldn't give them trouble after all. Just out of nowhere, very unlike you.
Oh, you have to use your Jesus powers.
No, I'll follow their lead, but I'll back away. But with the confusion of like not knowing why, backing away, and I'll start preaching to anyone, like in a diminished fashion to like anyone else I see, but nothing close to what that was, because I was deliberately trying to push them, but they can counter what I did.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of back off. You notice another car pulls up, and another sort of fedora wearing, pinstripe suit sporting person, looks like they're in the same club, comes out, and they start to talk to one another, and they're looking over their shoulder, and they're looking at you, Joe, particularly, but they're also looking at the one-stop shop again.
I'm still on his hat.
All right. Okay. All right. So what do you want to do that you're in the hat?
I'm listening.
Okay,
Let's see what
they're
they're
saying-
telling one another.
Okay. Well, they're telling one another. They're like, all right, Muggsy. There's still a cop in there. We can't have that, cop sniffing around here. So, yeah, I'm thinking we got to go in. I think we got to get him out of there. Well, Delia told us not to mess with the cops. The cops are with us. Yeah, but I don't know about this detective. I mean, why is she still messing around here? This case is closed. Well, we haven't bought off everybody.
Right. Okay, I would like to. Man, this water form is fantastic.
It really is.
I would like to inconspicuously flow off him down the back, just like, I'll try and flow off, and I want to try and make my way, body of water. I'd like to squeeze my way into one-stop shop. Still going through the doorway. I want to regroup with the detective and Lily.
Okay, it's still raining. Everything's drenched, but I'm gonna have you roll sneak around and you'll get the +2 status.
Let's see. Holy moly!
Oh, okay. Well, here's what happens. This water situation is going so well that
Jinxed it.
this is a perfect chance for me to use this hard move. Is that you're flowing almost under the door. No one's gonna see you so long as you can maintain the water form. But something about holding this form for so long, you've never done it before. You start glitching, and you sort of reappear right in front of the one-stop shop. At the same time, the clouds, sort of dissipate ever so slightly. It's still raining, but people are still drenched. But you all of a sudden just sort of appear right in front of everybody, and so your ability to turn into water is somehow, I don't know, it's been compromised for some reason. You don't understand why. So I want you to burn the tag that allows you to turn to water. And now you have got the attention of these mobsters, all three of them. They look and they're like, well, where did that person come from? For some reason, they didn't, they don't, you can see that they're more confused rather than like, oh my God, there's a rift here. There's, they don't say rift in City of Mist in the city, but you can tell that they're not reacting to some kind of supernatural thing. They're just reacting to somebody who appeared in their space out of nowhere.
All right. I am going to. Can I? Because there is sort of. No, wait. There's police tape, so it's not as good. If I'm in the doorway of the one-stop shop, I'm crouching. I appeared crouched down because I was originally a puddle and stuff. I'm gonna try and act. I'm gonna go super shady as hell, and there's magazine kind of thing at the front, hasn't been thing. I was gonna be look around, pretend like I'm a petty thief, and I am a petty thief, so hey, I know how to play the role. And I'm gonna go up to that magazine thing, I'm just gonna grab a whole bunch of magazines, shove them under my jacket, and just look shady as fuck, and then I glance towards them and then I kind of do a quick dash down an alleyway. And as I'm running away, I am going to knock the magazine stand over and create a loud noise outside, hopefully drawing the attention of the two inside.
Okay, that's gonna be a take the risk, because that seems a risky maneuver, but you have a chance of success.
I guess I'll be using sticky fingers because I'm stealing magazines.
There's honesty in your dishonesty.
Yeah.
I think that's only the other thing. And then hey, a chat point. Why not? Burn through those. Oh, come on.
All right, so
No.
the three mobsters look at each other and they're like, this is too much. So they say, hey, everybody, you stop where you are. Come, just stop your everybody out of the one-stop shop. You can hear them yelling, by the way. So Enkidu, and
wait.
Lily. Oh, sorry, go
you
ahead.
forgot one of the points. You added a chat point, right?
Yeah, I had the plus, or the plus is not working.
The plus isn't working, so it is the
Oh.
same.
So then you actually, okay.
So it should be a power 2.
Yeah, yes, there should be a power 2, but it's a take the risk, mixed success. So you can succeed, but I'm going to give you a ugly choice or a hard bargain.
Go for it.
And so
Okay.
so here's what happened. You can cause them to let you go, run off, or but you know that they're going to then end up going into the one-stop shop almost immediately because they're sort of they're getting tired. The other choice you can have is you can run off and they will come after you. Well, one of them will run after you. How about that? Because they don't want to take their surveillance off of there.
So what was the first option again? It would be
you get away clean, but the three mobsters are going to stay where they are and sort of move into the one-stop shop. They're gonna yell out what they're gonna yell out, drawing Enkidu's attention and potentially do whatever it is they're doing.
All right. I think I might take option 2, where one of them follows after me.
Okay. And that will cause the other two to kind of just hang back till that situation's resolved.
Yeah.
All right.
But at
so
least the other two inside know something's happening.
All right. So you run off. You notice that one of them starts darting after you. We're going to cut now back to the jailhouse just to check in with our friend, Baku. How you doing? You got your food? They brought you like a tray. It tastes like shit. You're wondering where your friends are. Why aren't they here to get you out yet? What's up?
He's just like sighing, and he basically picked at the tray a little bit, and his stomach growls, and he's like, oh, I haven't eaten well, and I didn't get food at the pizza place because I only have $3.
Right.
And so there's a bit of food, and so he takes a moment, breathes a sigh, and there's something that could be kale or asparagus or broccoli that's just flattened or whatever it is, and he starts eating at it, and then he gets a weird sensation, a twitch, and realizes that there's maybe there's some skeevy white collar criminal in the same jailhouse, or someone who's a bit of a a street tough, but he gets a weird sense of oh wow, kind of feel like a good vibe, like a fully charged cell phone battery, he's internally kind of perking up, and man, there's a lot of that's as much as flavor that I've got, but I'm thinking man, what could I do in terms of cinematic moves, because I don't think many of those are available to me.
Well, you're not in the cell alone. You're in one of those holding cells. So there's a bunch of people just waiting to get through their booking process. So, there's any number of people you might want to talk to. They all look there's somebody there that's going to fit the bill, right?
Yeah.
You got the guy in the suit, the white collar, they got the drunk driver, you got the petty thief.
Yeah. If you're in the holding cell, stop holding. That's the move. You're out of the holding cell. Awesome.
Stop holding back. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Or just flashback, you never got arrested.
Well, you
Well,
can't, you
I'm
can't
kidding.
change.
I am saving my flashback. Trust me. So, what I'm thinking is, like, you know, basically, oh man, like,
It's a tough situation you're in.
yeah. So,
Very
like, the one
tough.
thing I was thinking was like, is it possible that like an attorney could come and be like, "Yo, you didn't read him his rights or whatever," and like make a fuss? Is it possible that like I could like talk to someone in here and they could be like, "Yo, I know this dude. He's innocent." Like, and the cops are like, "Oh yeah, sure, whatever. You know, why should we listen to you?" It's like, no, 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 no. Like, I know this guy. Like, whatever like trespassing he was being accused of. Like, no, 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 that was me. Like something like that. Like, there's a lot I could do, but like a lot of it would require the other people in the cell to be asleep and then to wake up if I succeed on using some of my tags in my mythos.
Well, I mean, not everybody in the cell's awake.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone who looks very promising who could be like, just like a little string pulled here and there, and maybe they'd wake up and, you know, do something that could improve my situation. Like maybe someone who's affluent but waiting in the cell for whatever reason.
Well, let's see. Why don't you roll change the game and we'll see if we can make somebody amenable to your situation.
Okay, cool. There's a lot of tags I can apply here. For one, I can apply sniff out monsters and nightmares.
Are you looking for monsters and nightmares? Or are you looking for somebody that's going to present normally to the cops to vouch for you?
Oh, you can be a monster nightmare and still present as a upstanding member of society.
True, but the
You know
tag's
what
got
I'm
to
saying?
fit what you're actually doing.
That's
Just
true.
have
So
a look
maybe
at
this
any
would be
politician.
less. Yeah, maybe this would be less sniff out monsters and nightmares and more predator senses.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, okay. There's also like oh, you know what could then help balance that out is throw off a monster's senses, right? Like give someone else the sense like, hey, you know, like I'm getting, you know, released tonight, like I should spring this guy too, you know? Like, hey, I'm a cover your bail or whatever, right?
Throw off a monster. Well, I mean, it depends what you're going to do. I don't know if I can. I
I
can
want to
see that
subvert
one.
their nightmares a bit, or like their dreams, right? That's something
Okay.
I can do. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah. And then the main thing is, right? The main thing is specifically just like being near someone with my adaptation. I can invoke nightmare devouring maws. Like I can feed off someone else's fears and insecurities and stuff, and literally like either like worsen them or like actually like devour them, tear them out, and make that person like, I don't know, a less fearful, anxious person. And I can do that to like influence their subconscious.
Okay.
All right. So if I can influence the right, like wealthy, affluent kind of, you know, person who's going to be springed, if I, you know, listen and change the game that way, that's what I'm going to try and do.
Okay. Well, let's see what you come up with here.
All right. I am going to burn all 4 of my audience points that have been rewarded to me to add 7 to the roll, so that
One at a time.
Yeah, you can only do one
I
at
can
a
only
time.
use one at
I
a
mean,
I can only do
And
one
not
at a
stack
time.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't stack them. Dang.
You
Okay.
can only
I mean-
stack your cards, not chat point.
Ah, that makes sense. Okay.
That's
okay.
why we're all using them one at a time, because
Yeah.
+1 is very powerful, even though our rolls have been trash.
One
Right.
thing you can do, and I mean, this is not supposed to come into the game, or I'm not supposed to explain this yet, but I might as well explain it. I kind of mentioned it before the show. Is you can burn a tag, your own power tag, to score a hit, essentially, which would be a 7 + 3 power. It'd be equivalent to that, and you don't have to roll; you'd automatically succeed. But you wouldn't be able to use that power tag until you were able to recover it later through other means.
Yeah, that's true. And the one that I could do then is Nightmare Devouring Maws. Yeah. If I burn that tag, then I succeed?
Well, yeah. It would be like you rolled a 10 with a 3 power, a 10 plus, or a 7 plus 3 power. So yeah, you would succeed to change the game and you'd get 3 juice, and you would be able to apply it to any of the change the game, categories. Like you could create a story tag, burn a tag, give a reduce the status, scale up the effect, prolong the effect, hide the effect.
I'll do it. So
All right.
does that mean I add 3 to this roll just by burning that?
You don't even roll. So you just burn the tag and you succeed and you get 3 juice.
All right. I will put that down. It's not an attention. That would be... Oh, yep. There's a special thing for that on the tracking cards with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little fiery thing.
Yeah.
You click it.
Yeah. All the way to 3, right? Yeah. And I give it a specific tag?
Okay. So you have 3 juice to spend. And so describe to me what exactly you want to do with this person. Now you've identified a person who fits all your criteria. How do you want to spend this 3 juice? What kind of effect do you want to put on this person?
I want them to feel like, hey, like you've been able to do some, pretty despicable things without suffering any real repercussion, and now you're gonna basically bounce, getting the equivalent of a slap on the wrist because you were able to post bail and you don't have to worry about your trial for a while. Those karmic scales, Reaper comes for everyone. Maybe you want to do one good thing, and one dude who doesn't deserve to be in here, you want to help him out. And so yeah.
Okay, so you can give this person a status. You can make it ongoing. And so you could give them a tier 2 status and make it ongoing.
Ooh, yes, that's what I want to do. And I want it specifically to be sympathetic.
Okay, sympathetic.
No. Feeling sympathy for me. Yeah.
Okay, sympathetic for you. Sympathetic specifically for you, too. All right, we'll cut right there because you're going to have to roll for that, to cause the person to seek the ends of justice on your behalf. In a second, we go back to outside the one-stop shop. The Playlock has ran off. One of the underworld enforcers has darted after them. But inside the one-stop shop, you hear a ruckus outside Lily and Enkidu. You hear something going on out there. What do you do?
So I look at the detective and I'm like, what do we do?
There you go.
They only know you're here. I could hide behind the door and you could go outside and then I could wait for them to leave.
So they've gotten our attention. We're in the shop still, but we're trying to leave, I suppose, right? I don't know that I've seen these people yet.
No. I mean, you would have just reacted to sort of the commotion outside, and maybe you would, you don't necessarily know exactly what's going on, but you might want to check it out because your friends are right out there. It's up to whatever you think your character would do. You could just keep on and you could keep on poking around in there. Okay,
well, being the hard-nosed cop that she is, she would probably go to the front door, or she'd probably tell Lily is get down, find a safe place to, or just hide somewhere. Try and find a back door. You can leave. Because I'm aware of Lily's desire not to get caught, correct?
I assume, yeah.
I assume, okay. Yeah, so just tell her to hide or try and find a back way out of the store while I go to the front door and, just kind of survey the situation. Are they coming towards the store? Are they, are they making their way towards me? Do I get a chance to see the one that's charging after Tlaloc, or?
Okay. So you walk to the front of the store. What you see is you see one charging away. You see the other two sort of kind of interested in what's happening, but they're still, of course, focused on where you are inside the one-stop shop. But they're not moving towards the one-stop shop because Slaylock has succeeded in at least diverting their attention from you for the moment. But they're still there.
Who give them what for?
I mean, I'm from the front door of the store. I'm just gonna be like, this is an active crime. This is an active investigation. I'm gonna have to ask you two to leave. Present the police badge, and kind of place my hand. Actually, no, I don't think she would do that. But yeah, so she's gonna present the badge and just be like, yeah, this is an active investigation. I'm gonna have to ask you two to leave.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lily is going to the back of the store to see if there's a back door or something.
Okay, there is a back door, and you consider going out that back door, but not before we return. We cut, and Slaylock, full speed, runs away from the one-stop shop. You notice you're now pursued by this, obvious gangster holding on to his hat with one hand, but also going for his gun out of the corner of your eyes. You take a corner into a back alley, trying to lose him. You see him going for his gun, and he's closing the distance. What do you do?
Okay. All right. So one of the things I wanted to ask is, is this one of the things I would ask, or I'm just going to state it and make it canon? It's like, do I know who? They've dropped a few names in my hearing. I'm a small-time criminal guy. I feel like I would know who the big fish in the area are. Do I recognize those names, and do I know what gang they're part of?
Yeah, I mean, here's what you know. Okay, well, you don't know much about these people, but you do know they're part of a new kind of gang that has come into the area that's sort of muscling out some of the more old-timey gangsters. And you've heard the name Honey Lips suddenly. You recall that, and you think this is Honey Lips' crew. You have a feeling because you heard the name, and that's not the first time you've heard Honey Lip, as it turns out. So you kind of know where these people are coming from.
Okay, so to make sure I've got my information correct, they said that the owner of One Stop Shop shouldn't have crossed Honey Lip, otherwise this is what happens to people who do that?
That's right, that's what they said.
All right, cool. And then the second name that they mentioned was it Adelio or Del or something?
Delia. You don't know much about Delia. And that's the first time you've heard that name, you think.
All right. As we kind of run down and around the corner, and I kind of glanced over, saw them pulling out a gun, and I'm like, oh, okay, shit's getting a bit too hot here. Slaylock is going to kind of like skid to a stop, kind of still clutching his jacket closed over the magazines, and just like going to turn around, and he's just going to say, okay, look, I think we're getting off to the wrong foot here. I was just like nabbing some magazines, man. Just chill it. There's no need for the gun. I got no weapons. He's going to like open the coat, let the magazines fall out. He's like, I got nothing on me. I got nothing. Let's take a moment here.
Okay, so that sounds a lot like Take the Risk. It could be go toe to toe, but it does sound like Take the Risk because you're putting yourself at this mobster's mercy.
Alrighty. I'm wondering if I can add on to that with adding on to it saying, Look, man, I just do a bit of light lifting in the area. I'm not none of the big fish or anything like that. Definitely seems like you guys are part of a bigger crew or anything. Hey, normally that wasn't my best showing, but hey, I can be I'm pretty light-fingered most of the time. That was just a one-off because of the rain, and I'm trying to do a driven self-promoter thing to say, hey, I'm not exactly a goody-goody two-shoes here. I've done a fair share of crime myself. So, like, driven self-promoter and relentless schmoozer trying to suck up to him.
Yeah, let's see. Is that Take the Risk or maybe? Yeah, no. I mean, I like all of these. I like where you're going with this. Like, you actually sound like you might be building a case here. So let's see. Why don't you go toe to toe? Because your talk might be enough to stop them from being able to do any damage to you. Go toe to toe. Talk to me into it.
Oh, I should have added a chat
No.
point. I forgot to say.
Oh, it was a miss.
It is a
Yes.
miss.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm
God.
so sorry. So what happens is you stop in your tracks, and this underworld enforcer has heard it all before. He by the time he gets to you, he has his gun out, but he doesn't shoot you with it. He just takes it and he just whacks you over the head with it, like a pistol whip. And so roll face danger. You're going to potentially take a pistol whipped 3 status.
Okay. I miss again. And as he whacks me in the face, I'm like, oh man, not the face! Bam! It's like, oh man, the ladies are not gonna like that. Oh.
All right, so you take pistol whipped 3, and now we're going back. We'll be back. This is not over.
Yep.
We're back in front of the one-stop shop. The underworld enforcers are glad to see the cop. In fact, they walk over to Enkidu, and they attempt to engage you in conversation if you are so inclined.
If they're starting to approach me, I'm reaching for my gun.
Okay. You reach for your gun, and it stops them in their tracks, actually.
Like, I told you, this is an active investigation. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, and I'm gonna lace those words with a certain level of venom, to just kind of like try and scare him off a little bit. So yeah, I'm trying to intimidate these people to leave, to back off.
Okay. All right. Okay. So here's what they say. You did get them to say something though. By holding your ground, they say, look, you don't need to be here. This investigation is closed. Just look, we know you're not on this case. We know who you are. Why don't you call Kaminsky and just verify that this case is done?
Kaminsky.
You know Kaminsky. You've heard the name. You've kind of seen him around. Brian Kaminsky. He's just a regular cop, and you don't know why they would be mentioning his name at this point.
Is he a beat cop or detective?
I think he's just a beat. Well, let me just make sure that
He doesn't have the authority to do that. If
Yeah.
he's just a regular beat cop, he doesn't have the authority to just close a case.
Yeah,
That's a detective. That's a detective thing. So
I'm gonna say that I just want to make sure I get this right. I mean, I could make it up on the fly, but I kind of want to follow the adventure somewhat. All right.
May I offer a compromise? Perhaps he's like a lieutenant, but not a detective.
Let me just find the
I
answer.
think that lieutenant is above detective.
Right. Okay, never mind.
realistically here, I'm looking to get
Yeah.
Lily.
Officer
out.
Kaminsky is he's a beat cop.
Okay.
So your suspicions are immediately raised that why would they think a beat cop could overrule a detective? They're like, whatever, just call Kaminsky.
Okay. I don't think I have a radio. I don't think that's in my thing. It's like, I'll talk to him when I'm on the, I'll talk to him when I get the chance. But right now, this is a sealed crime scene, and I'm investigating. So I'm going to need you to leave. You have no business being here either.
They are surprised. You can clearly see the shock on their face that you're just not doing what they say, which is weird, but you can see the shock on their face. You also notice, just as Tlaylock did, you feel kind of an otherworldly presence emanating from them as you argue with them, and the sureness that they have of their position, which would normally be insane for having a couple gangsters just approach a detective, hard-boiled detective nonetheless, with them calling the shots. You're just there's something about these two that has now cause you to feel a little sense of unease as we go back into the jail cell at precinct 23, where there is a sleeping affluent person, apparently, just as we had hoped, preparing to be, attacked with something.
Well, not exactly attack. This is more like see, the way I imagine it, right? You know USB ports on computers?
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's also like just like wireless receivers, you know? You don't necessarily need to make physical contact with a system in order to send a signal from one to the other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the way I'm thinking of it is that I've burned a tag, and that is just like an adaptation which allows me to devour nightmares, and that's like pretty how would you say open to interpretation, especially since I'm burning the tag anyway and isn't my first time using it. I like to think that like being in close proximity could almost be like the way you don't want magnets near a computer. I'm literally wiping this guy. I'm like feeding off and worsening a part of the system, that system being his like fear and anxiety about his like karmic standing, you know? And
Okay.
thus, yeah. You see what
Okay.
you see what I mean?
Okay, so you're gonna burn a power tag to achieve the success, you say?
Well, that's what I did last turn.
Right.
Was, yeah.
So what are you doing this turn then? Just doing an
Yeah.
ordinary roll with tags?
Yeah, well, since burning a tag gives you 3, right? It
Yeah.
gives, yeah. So, now I would have base 3 added to whatever I'm rolling. Is that correct? I know that we also mentioned that there's the status.
Yeah, no. What burning a tag does is it gives you a guaranteed success on that one roll. You don't get any ongoing
Right.
effects specifically from that action. So you could
Gotcha.
burn another tag to guarantee a success, or you could select power tags in the ordinary course like you do, except for the ones that
Well-
you burn. You can't use those anymore.
What I would like to do is that, like, let's say he's like stirring from a dream, right? Like he's like waking up, and he's, you know, maybe this guy's like, oh gosh, just another like 43 minutes, and then I'm out or whatever, right? And you know, maybe Baku, not necessarily most socially outgoing, could still like, you know, just strike up a conversation with this guy, be like, yeah, you know, yada yada, all seeing eye investigations, you know, like just strike up a conversation, maybe just like convince this guy, like, or maybe emotionally hit with all I've got, right? Because he has sympathy 3 as a tag.
Yes, or 2.
Yes, 2.
Sympathy 2 for you. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you want to convince him that your cause is just and that he should take action, right?
Yeah, like basically cover my bail.
Okay. Yeah. So roll. Yeah. Roll. Yeah. Let's see. I want to say. Let me see. Is it would convince be the way to go? Yeah. Roll convince.
Roll convince, got it. So I'm gonna use my mixed martial arts sensei, right? Because like it's like, you know, and oh, my weakness tag, my financial problems, right? Does that add to my sympathy?
That would here because you're trying to get a rich person to pay for your bail. That would work.
Yeah. So I am gonna add the weakness tag, but then I'm just gonna hit up twice to, because you know. Oh wait, does that work? Yes, it does. Yes, because the idea is that it would normally subtract 1, but now it's adding 1, right?
Adding 2,
and
yeah.
Yeah, so cool. And then the other thing I will invoke, I don't want to invoke too much, but just like, oh yeah, you know, I did mention our investigation, but you know, agency, but I'm not invoking that tag. What I am invoking is like, yeah, you know, man, like if I can't post bail, you know, like some of my black belts I've taught, you know, they can teach a few classes, but you know, without that like discipline, and they have jobs they gotta work, you know, they can't cover for me for like a month. You know, so like trying to do that loyal students thing, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And then I am also adding 1 from whatchamacallit. I'm adding 1 from the chat. Yes.
Okay.
So that was base 3, and then the weakness tag actually adds 1, and then subtracts 1, not adds 1. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Never mind. So yeah, it's just the weakness tag applied like normal. So And then got it. So base 3, then +1 from the chat.
What do you mean base 3 for 3 tags?
Oh, what? Yeah, well, like because I
Okay.
burned the tag. Yeah.
No.
No?
You didn't burn a tag on this roll. You're just selecting power tags.
Okay,
So-
I got you. Okay. Yeah. So then it's just mixed martial arts sensei, loyal students, and my weakness tag, financial problems. And I'm relying upon the fact that he has sympathy 2.
Okay.
Also add to it.
Okay, and then you got 1 from the chat, right?
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let's make sure that this is actually like applying correctly. There
I think
we
you
go.
got power 2, right? A +2 on this. On
Yeah, I think that's right. Yes, power 2, but then also 2 from the status.
right, -1 for the
Math.
weakness tag.
I thought you said
Yeah.
this game had no math.
Yeah, I mean, it usually doesn't.
It's light math.
Alright. Roll +3.
Okay.
Quick maths.
Yes, 1 + 3, so 4. Okay, got it. Cool.
No.
And
Roll
this-
+3. Okay,
Oh,
just roll.
+3.
Total plus 3.
Okay, just roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Convince.
I just want to point out at this before we started, Poe was like, you can combine these tags, but it's going to be very rare for you to find situations, and like that's all we're doing. is
Yeah, I've
Yep.
combining.
I mean,
It's
we're-
true because you're playing the game the way you're supposed to, right? You're sort of playing the role that's put in front of you. So it's
I
good.
mean, we needed because we were
Trying-
failing.
All right.
We
trying
still
to
are.
be as convincing as possible. In our
All right.
Ooh,
So
So-
here's what happens. This guy who was dead asleep, somehow you invaded his dream, and he like wakes up. Holy, like something he saw was so terrible that he's so glad to be awake. You're the first person he sees. He is predisposed to listen to your tale of woe. He's rich. He can throw money anywhere. He hears a sob story and he believes it. He calls over the guard. He's come in because he's just a basic drunk driver, but they know who he is. He's like a local rich guy. So he says, "Hey, I want to talk to my lawyer. You got an innocent person." And you're like, "Yeah, we heard that. We heard all, unless you're going to pay his bail or whatever. He's going to stay here all night." And he says, "Well, that's what I'm going to do." The cop's like, "Are you kidding me? This again? What is it with you and these sob stories?" So they go off, makes the call. Within 15 minutes or so, this rich guy has you out on the street, and he's out there with you too, because his lawyer called back, took care of him. So
Yeah,
you're
I'm-
back out in front of the police station.
Yeah, I imagine, right, like this guy, like maybe he has like, he's gonna see. What I'm thinking is like, hey, listen, genuinely thank you, and like, look, I already basically have 2 jobs with the moonlighting, but BK's got your back. I got you back, right? So if like you have like an issue where like maybe you need a driver, right? Like if you need a personal driver, I'm your guy.
All right, thanks, buddy. He looks at his watch and he's gone. But he does take your information from where your dojo is. So
Yeah, my deets.
all
right, awesome.
You sold him on. He's gonna send his kid over or something.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Want attention to my weakness. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely check that. Okay, we're back. Boom. Nailed. You see stars. This is Tlaylock, of course. You're dazed, but you have a second.
No. This is Job. He found someone of a different religion, and they're now having fisticuffs.
Oh, is that right?
Well,
No.
actually, no. Job's going from store to store, and he just passes. The oh no. You like what's the issue going on? It's like the place is closed. Please go away. And it's like, oh, but detective, we can have a midnight vigil here, can we not? I've been calling and contacting my congregation to have a vigil, like saying that in front of the goons.
Okay.
Go back to
Okay, Tlaylock. What are you gonna do? It's clear that this person is not done with you, right? Cracking his knuckles.
Yeah.
Get up off the ground, you weakling. What are you doing messing around Honey Lips? He didn't say that. He said, honey, I mean, nobody's turf. Get out. We don't need small time crooks messing up the works.
So, oh no, my ability to like smart talk is like leaving me. Is there a benefit to using a weakness tag or not really?
Yeah, you get attention to it. So like you could potentially level up a little bit, essentially take another level in the theme that you gain three attention to.
But you have to succeed on that roll for it to bring it?
No.
Oh, it just
all you have to do
regardless.
is invoke it. Yeah.
Okay.
What? That's how that works?
Yep. Yep. Whenever you invoke a weakness tag, you check attention on your theme.
Okay, we're all learning something together. That's why we're playing the starter set.
Learning something.
Sorry, Cat is trying to walk on the keyboard. Away. He is going to he's been knocked down. He's gonna just be like wiping some blood off his lip, and he's gonna try and look pathetic as possible, which isn't really hard with the rain coming down and the drenched status and whatnot. And I'm going to, I guess, play my weakness, being small fish in a big pond.
Okay, so one thing I want to note to Card is that I switched the map to the alley view, so we can just take a look at what we're facing here.
I have the face off.
Yeah. Now remember, this is just theater of the mind, so it's just a show off. It's not really that important, but since the map's there, I thought I'd use it.
Oh, looking into that window.
And you can put on like the fight song too, if you want to.
Play my power theme. Yeah, so small fish in big pond. He's gonna be like, look, I didn't mean to be on anyone's turf specifically or anything like that. Just look, man, I'm just trying to work my way up in the world. I need me a break. Things are tough in this neighborhood as it is, and I don't want what happened in there to happen to me or mine, kind of thing. So I don't know. I know my way around the streets really well. I've lived here my whole life. I know a lot of people. Anything I can do to help you guys out? Seriously, man, I don't want any trouble. If anything, what can I do to help you guys?
Okay, roll go toe to toe again.
Oh God. Driven self-promoter again to that, as well as small fish in a big pond. I don't know. That's weird. It's like canceling each other out, but whatever.
Small fish or big fish in a small pond, or was it small fish in a big pond?
Small fish in a big pond. So hey, I'm just a nobody, but hey, I want to move up in the world, kind of thing. And hey, if you guys are coming across as really strong and.
All right, I'll give it to you. Trying to smooth talk him a little bit. Okay.
Toe to toe. So that's just. I'll add one from chat. How many do I have? I've got 2.
2 left.
Okay, so bring that down to 1. I'll try.
So you're used to using them.
Sorry. So that should be a power 1, but it's still gonna be a miss.
Okay. Wow,
I'm not doing really well.
Pretty terrible rolling. Okay, so. Why you keep telling me the same thing? Whoop, bam, same pistol hit. You're gonna take another pistol whipped 3, but these will stack. But first, no. Okay. So we're gonna learn a little bit about how the stacking of statuses go here. So, but first, you have an opportunity to face danger. So roll the face danger.
Can I add anything to it?
Yes, if you haven't used it already on this particular move. Then, so if there's something else that applies, I haven't used, with your go toe to toe, then you can.
No, that's all right. I'll see how the scene plays out. So
okay. All right, roll face danger, and you get a miss. Boom. So you take the full pistol whip 3, which is the same. Same tier as the pistol whip 3 you already have.
That's a 7, right?
Oh, because you took 1 from chat?
No, I was gonna say like I thought it might have been applying the weakness thing, but not. No, I think that's right. I think it's a miss. I didn't say I was applying
it's
anything.
+1, -1, +1. So that's
No, there was
No, 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 no,
plus
no,
one. No?
No tags applied to this roll.
No
Because it's
tags.
face
Okay,
danger
never
versus
mind,
go
never
toe to
mind.
toe.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, that should have been reset.
All right, so boom, you get hit again. So when you take a tier or a status from the same kind of category as one you already have, then they stack, but not 1 for 1. So you now have beaten 4. When you reach tier 5, I caution you, you will be knocked out.
Somebody please save Twilight.
Beaten
Wait.
4. That's what you have right now.
Okay,
Okay,
so-
we go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm so confused. So am I still pistol whipped 3?
No. That one's been superseded by beaten 4.
Okay.
Sorry, I keep. You can just change the word on the card and then click the 4.
Gotcha.
So that's how similar numbers stack. They just up one status to one higher level, and then you have lower status tiers. We'll talk about that when it happens.
All right.
Or lower tier statuses.
And
Okay.
I had 1 attention because of my weakness that I used.
Did you use it when you rolled go toe to toe or something?
It was in the first roll I made, which is taking.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check attention on that theme. All right, and we're back to well, let's see. Job wants to do something. Job hasn't acted in a while. What are you doing right now? You're seeing this interaction between Enkidu and these cops.
And I just come past and ask the police, if you want people around, like you want
Oh,
people
sorry,
to go
not cops.
away,
I meant the
goons.
goons. Sorry,
Yeah.
I said it wrong.
Yeah. As I walk past and seeing this interaction, I just say, Detective, you don't want anyone here, so would it be okay if we have a moonlight vigil? I've just been calling and contacting my congregation, and we want to ease the spirit out of the world, off to the world, and show the community still cares.
Okay. Why don't you roll?
I'm willing to burn
Okay.
the congregation for this, to try to get rid of them, the goons.
Okay, so let's see. You're trying to convince them to leave because
But there's
you're
going to be
gonna
too
have
much
them-
people here. There's too much
Okay,
presence. too much
Okay,
people.
so that's probably going to be a convince. You'll burn a tag. Which tag you're going to get rid of?
The one I've been using all the time, congregation.
Yes, get rid of it. Burn it.
Yeah, I knew you'd be excited for that one.
Yeah, that one's
Um,
worth paying for.
And
I don't know why I'm rooting against you. I'm not
compassionate.
supposed to do that.
And I can't think of anything else I can tick. But I'll use
Yeah,
the
all you have
chat.
to do is burn one tag and you get an automatic success. You don't
Okay,
really have to select power tags. So yeah, you burn one tag, click the little fire thing, and these guys look at you, and for some reason, one of them is a member of your congregation. No, wait. That's not true. That was the cop. They know not to be around when there's people of faith that are going to be in the area, because that's not the kind of people they like to hang out with. So they kind of look at each other and like, I can't believe we're listening to this person, but all right, look, Father, we don't want any trouble between you and your congregation here.
You can
when you-
join our congregation if you accept the Lord and Savior. And
They have never moved faster the other way. Say, thank you, Father. We're gonna be there on Sunday, okay? But right now, we got to go buy my ma's and hang out with, my cousin, and we got to go buy. And they kind of scurry off, get in their car, and take off.
I thought they would never leave. What did you find in there? Wait, where's Twi'lek? Wait, where's Lily?
He's down here. I saw him with one of the others. We should probably take care of that.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go save.
Right now in
Twilight.
what, 4 different groups?
No,
Let's try to get
well,
them together. Because we were in
Yeah.
5 different groups.
so
Such a long time.
once the the two goons head off. If Lily is still in the store, then Enkidu's gonna call out to her. He's like, come on, we've got something else we need to take care of real quick, and we need to go.
So does Lily hear that?
And well, we have to then find. Yeah, I would hope you do.
And then
so Lily hears that and comes out the front door, joins you two.
and we're
Twilight went that way.
down the
One of the
alley.
goons was chasing. Let's go.
You can see where Tlaylock ran, and you can also see the alley that he cut into. So you can easily follow, and you kind of all get together. You go towards the alley, and sure enough, you eventually make it to where this sort of malicious beating is happening, and you can see this gangster looking like the other three, just going for another hit.
Can I do anything?
Hey,
Yeah, if you want
take
to.
on someone your own size. Why don't you
I
take
was
on a man of
going-
faith?
Pistol drawn. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm looking up and I'm like, I said not the face, and I'm gonna look up and I'm going to use my electrifying gaze to fry the guy.
Oh, there you go.
I was really
Okay.
trying to take a hint, but okay.
That would be go toe to toe again. So fine, you've decided, and talk is cheap. It's time to fight back.
Can I say that I get a +2 to this because he's currently drenched from the rain?
I knew that was coming.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, sorry, I forgot. You want to give him electric lightning? Yeah, you know what? Take it.
Yes.
Take it because you can miss, right? But it would still shock him because he's all wet. So you +2. Take it.
And this is going toe to toe or facing danger?
Go toe to toe.
You got one chat dice if you want to use it.
Yeah, I'll totally use that. Thanks.
Nah.
Last one.
How do I make it plus? I can't.
It doesn't specifically work for some reason, but you just add +1 on top of it afterwards.
Oh, I can just make an extra tracking
Yeah.
card and then just say +1 from that.
Okay, I haven't
Awesome.
thought of that way.
Go toe to
Yeah, I
toe.
can't believe it doesn't let you add numbers.
Hey,
There
it's
you
gonna
go.
get fried.
Boom! I got power 4. That was the total.
Fantastic.
Holy cow! All right, so yeah,
I roll.
the lightning shoots out of your eyes, and you can see his whole body kind of spark and light up for a second, and you can choose to either give them a tier 4. You can block, dodge, or counter their best attempts, or you can manage to achieve your goal, which I don't know what your goal was, but to knock him flat. If that was your goal, then he just falls over like the worst taser in the world.
Yeah, let's stun him.
Yeah. So he just falls over. Why? And your whole crew kind of comes around and says, well, you guys are now one place, for the longest time since
Still
so much has happened. One of you's been to jail. Well, one of you is still just outside the jail,
Still
but the
just
rest of you
outside.
are there.
I was
And
gonna say
Go ahead.
I have a solution potentially. So
flashback GPS.
Um, well, no. I was just gonna say like, oh man, if I really want to get back to the others quickly, like it could be like a shadow fade kind of thing where it's like, can I meld into the dark and then pounce from the shadows in the sense of like teleporting? It has to be night. It has to be like shadows, and it can only be to where all the other members of the group are.
Well, you can do that, or you can get in a taxi and go to where they are. But let me just pause this right there because we're now
Sure.
on full. We've we've now reached the 4-hour mark. So I think we're
Yeah.
going to want to wrap it up right about now, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
We've
yes.
done-
Okay. So we're
That
back.
one
in one-
scene.
we will start next week with what is called the montage kind of downtime move, where we can kind of recover a little bit and do the next scene.
Do we get our geek out during the credits?
Yeah, right. And so we're gonna, the camera fades to black and it says "to be continued," and we now have we do the move called geek out during the credits, and that's the last thing we do before the official game is ended. So let's see if we can pull this up. Somebody want to roll that on their sheet so we can all see it together in the
Yeah, sure.
in the chat.
There
you go.
Thing is, I
All
was
right.
holding on to you know, the like the flashback twist I was gonna have. It's like, oh well, every player can have one flashback per session. So mine was gonna be like, aha! I pulled it from my jacket. I got like police records, or like, you know, specifically like, you know, a notebook or whatever of like their investigation. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
But we'll do that next time because
Next time.
yeah, because we missed the window here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Uh,
good.
And okay, so take a look at what we have to do.
Props
Each
for
one of
using
you's gonna get.
props.
Yeah, right there you go. That's kind of fancy, right?
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna ask you each one. Which one of those 3 questions would you like to answer? Has the crew grown this session? Which character had the most meaningful interaction with your character, or you can answer more than one. Which of your themes is under the most strain if it collapses, and what new aspect will show up in its place? You probably are not going to get to number 3 yet, but you might choose 1 or 2. So let's start with Lily.
So the character I had the most meaningful interaction with, I think, would be probably the detective. I know with Tlaloc, we did get pizza together, and we did I did help them try and charm the police, but I think the scene doing detective work and kind of showing up the detective was a pretty good moment, and that was pretty meaningful.
Yeah, I think so.
All
All right, so what you do is go ahead.
Also, the crew, I think maybe this is just me, but I think the crew has grown to maybe not be so hasty to split up, because that went very poorly. So next time one of us gets pizza, we're all getting pizza.
Agreed.
And that's how Lily feels about it, at least.
All right, that sounds good. So what you're gonna put on your character sheet and on one of the cards, in your main character card, you'll flip it over and you'll write in Kidu, and then you'll place 1 help or hurt point. I assume you're gonna want to help her in the future, in which case you place 1. We'll talk about how that works off screen or something like that. Okay. Oh, and has the crew grown? We'll put that off to the end. So, Tlaloc. Oh, sorry, I'm going the wrong direction. Sorry, I went the wrong direction. I meant Job.
For me,
Yeah.
I liked the the split ideas of distraction. One to get rid of the police, and I had the opposite ideas, just to distract them and keep them,
Yeah.
their attention for exactly the same reason. And my idea was far the worst out of the 2. And whoops, that.
Yeah, but we did play to find out what happened, and it really was fine.
And it ended up a 4-hour scene.
Yeah.
Whoops. But I really liked that. And I think trying to, even though the interactions weren't direct, but everything was for Baku. Everything was to try to get Baku out, to try to get Baku not being arrested, and to try that was. I mean, I said it wasn't directly interactions between, but that was my interaction with certainly. Everything was focused on that
you
one.
did your level best. I mean, like that. Everybody kind of tried, but yeah, you put in special effort to do that.
Yeah.
The,
Thanks.
We tried.
All right. Yeah, so you get 1 help point on the back of your character sheet, which we can talk about again later. What about you, Detective Enkidu? You've had a kind of an interesting session.
I have, and I am on the fence as to which character I've had the most meaningful interaction, because I had strong interactions with Job, Lily, and indirectly Baku.
Right.
As far as actual direct interactions, as I think they have a little more weight. I think just the constant back and forth of Job and Kidu playing off each other, trying to make this work, trying to push things along and try and help Baku. I think that is probably the most meaningful interaction between two characters, or at least from Enkidu's.
Yeah, I really like that answer. That's great.
Yeah, I think so.
So while we were working towards trying to get Baku out, I think Enkidu's most meaningful interaction would have been with Job there.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Slaylock. For real this time.
For real.
Yeah, for real.
So how the crew has grown this session, I have a feeling that next time we're actually going to be better at communicating with one another as to what our goal is. So I think that's what a main takeaway is from this session. Communication is key. Come on, man. Slaylock's all about it. You guys need to pick up the pace with it. And which character had the most meaningful interaction with Slaylock would probably be Lily, because when she turned to him going like, you can fix this, right? You can talk your way out of anything. That totally pulled on his people come to me for help. And yeah, I
Lily
do some
is
shady
everyone's
stuff.
friend, and Tlaloc is great too.
But yeah, it totally plays on his characteristics of being that guy on the street that people go to for help. And hey, man, he may not always do it legit or legally, but he'll help you out.
Okay, so that good. Thank you. And finally, Baku, and you can't pick the NPC that
Oh yeah, no, gosh, no. I'm
Rich
that.
guy.
Forget that guy. Honestly, there's a lot of great ones. First off, Baku's future communication is going to be much better. Like, man, I genuinely there's a lot. I thought it was cool, just when Detective Enkidu was revealing her powers in that way, where it's on the one hand, just in terms of what she's trying to do, Baku's like, wow, thanks, I appreciate you trying to help me not get arrested. But on the other hand, he's like, oh dang, she's like a monster. I mean, I am too, but maybe I should be worried. And that was really neat. And then Job just being like, oh man, look at this sad, pathetic, miserable, potentially criminal soul. I mean, come on. And it's like, wow, hey, thanks for helping me out. But self-esteem.
I will point out that I selected the flaw that I see, essentially criminals in everybody, and that was the only reason why I failed one of those roles to try to save you, because I put that flaw in there too. I was like,
and that's great. Yeah, that is awesome. And there are a lot of moments when it's I wish I'd been there. The character had been there to see it, because that would have been cool. It's just in what's it called, Foam Mouth or whatever, where it's oh, I wish I'd been there. I missed out when everyone else was there. I like the idea that it's from now on, Baku's all right, now my job is to keep everyone together. And I just think that as a crew, I don't know. I just like the idea of I screwed up, but at least I got this, and just yeah.
All right, excellent. Well, thank you all for playing. I'm gonna give it back to Karsh. He's gonna talk us through this.
So thank you everyone for coming in. Thank you for all the donations, all the redemptions, all the everything, and subscriptions, gift subscriptions, etc., etc., etc. We have been waiting for months to do this, and I'm super excited to play it. This was a lot slower than expected, but there were so many amazing role-playing opportunities. We were rolling horribly, and I think this game kind of works the phase of the more you roll, the more it's going to be against you. So yeah, it was fun at least. So we're going to be doing some. What is tomorrow? Okay, tomorrow we're not going to have a show because we're doing a secret offline show. We're training one of our cast groups to learn Pathfinder 2. We're actually playing the Pathfinder 2 beginner box, which we're also playing on the following Monday. Oh, sorry, Sunday, depending on where you are. But we also have the TTRPG book club on the following day after that. So in 2 days we have the book club. We're looking at The Witcher, I believe. And so stick around with that. All our stuff's on YouTube. So YouTube, Goblin Cave, etc. Check us out there. But we'll go to Chibi because, again, we'll go to Polly than Chibi because you've been around for long enough to know how to do the outros. We don't have a credits roll. I'm sorry, I didn't get that arranged last night. I was trying to actually read the rules. So, Polly, would you like to do your outro?
Hello, it's me. I'm Polly People. I was the MC today in City of Mist. If you like board games, I do board games too, believe it or not. Check me out at twitch.tv/PollyPeople. Bye.
Chibi?
Guys, I'm Chibi. You can find me on Twitch under Hitakiri Chibi, where I stream 3 times a week working on D&D or tabletop RPG character art, as I'm a full-time commission artist based here in Australia. You can also find me at bespokecc.com.au. This is Rocky.
Yeah. I watched Rocky come in earlier and push the door open and come to, and then shortly after was like on the table. So, Combat Space?
Hi, I'm Combat Space. Was playing the role of Detective Enkidu. You can find me here on Twitch at Combat Space, all one word. Occasionally stream Mech Warrior, Black Desert Online, or Dungeons and Dragons 5e. Yeah, I'll see you guys around. See you guys next week, maybe.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Mystic Mike?
Oh, right. Yeah. Plugging stuff. Hi, I'm Michael. I'm a community manager for Adventures of Galder, a tabletop role-playing game community which commemorates people who've passed away in real life through their characters, spells, or other resources. And we've launched a successful Kickstarter, Galder's Gazetteer, a 5e expansion with new, spells, conditions, monsters. It brings back Bloodied to 5e, finally, as an official condition. And a lot of other cool stuff that comes out later this month. And all the proceeds from the book sales, 100% of them go to the Cancer Research Institute. It's pretty exciting. Yeah, go check that out. I'm pretty stoked, to say the least. Wow, oh my gosh, this feels really official, and I'm nervous, and fuck, it's been a lot of work. Are we allowed to curse?
No.
You just did.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lights are one.
Well, fudge.
It's tabletop RPG. I think swearing is just, it happens.
Blue?
Hi, I'm Blue. I played Lily Chow. I hope I did a good job, and I hope everyone watching enjoyed. I don't have anything to plug, but thanks again to Polly and to all the other players for having me and for putting so much effort to bring so much to the game. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Now we're also going to be doing a raid, so we're going to be raiding Unfunny One. It's the first time we've raided them. They're doing Star Trek role playing at the moment. We do have a raid command, which is we come to share the love, our hearts are warm and fresh, and I believe that these people are very much Star Trekkers or Trekkies because there's some cosplay going on and uniforms being worn, because of course there is.
Wow.
So say hello to them, share the love, and be warm and fuzzy with them, and have a great day, and we'll see you next week or tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but at some other time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.